How's it going, man? You look like you dressed like Eddie Murphy from Delirious today.
Hey, man, I am delirious.
Yeah, you look a little flummoxed. You all right?
No, I'm chilling. It's just I came to the realization that I have one more week.
Oh, yeah, you've been off for like a month.
Yeah, and it's
just
been
going
nice.
all over the world like Carmen Sandiego.
And, man, first of all, thank you, because I feel like I'm like, so a lot of the times, I will literally use this saying like, hey, I'm Carmen Sandiegoing it, right? Like,
Right.
That's just, a lot of people don't know what that is.
What do you mean?
Like
It's
dead
a
ass.
famous children's program.
Well, I mean, I guess
I
maybe.
thought.
I thought it was in the same.
If motherfuckers know who Wishbone is, they should know who Carmen Sandiego is.
But we're getting to that point to where, like, people who were a little bit younger than me didn't know who Wishbone was. And that's weird.
That's weird to me.
So that's why when I said, I'll use it this way. I think I had to explain this to Michaela before. I was like, Carmen Sandiego in it. She was like, who's Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, my knee started hurting this morning. That's why.
Yeah, you're damn near 30.
Don't say that out
That's
loud.
true. Welcome. He's 30. Look how unhappy he is.
Right.
Yeah, spry. But no, jokes aside, I'm okay. Just trying to get my juices flowing, relax as much as I can this week.
You
I
should.
slept a lot today, which is great. Just because getting back to that hustle and grind starting next week. Very excited for it though. Got all my stuff.
You don't seem too excited. Looks like
No.
you want a vacation forever.
I mean, if I could, I would.
Do they give black people travel channels? Travel channel shows. I don't know of any. Zach Baggins has like 15.
You know what? To be fair,
It's a poor ass channel. They could give us a show.
like I'm not to rag on our people. I'm not gonna do that.
Are we not allowed to travel the world and try
It's not,
cuisines?
I don't think it's that we're not allowed. And I'm gonna call you out too, Tommy.
What do you
I don't
mean?
think it's not that we're not allowed to travel. I think black people just don't like to travel.
It's a very shady thing. Like it's dicey.
Yeah, shut up. Like, no green books on the history show.
Yeah,
That's history.
it is history. Sadly,
It does count.
It does.
But no, dude, like the amount of time that, and it's kind of disheartening. The amount of time I've heard my colleagues or black peers who like haven't gone outside the country or really haven't even moved outside their own block, because they're like, I'm gonna rep this city forever. There's this whole like rep.
I don't have that.
right.
Yeah.
You want to rep LaGrange?
Fuck no. I don't want to rep. Hell, I don't want to rep Austin right now. This traffic is terrible here.
But dude, it's getting
I'm kind of over this city. Is there any room in California? Yeah, I was about to say it should be plenty.
a lot of people are leaving.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like traveling and whatnot, there's I don't know, it just you don't hear about it happening nearly as often for African Americans in particular, because by nature, any African you've met who's here has traveled.
Yeah. Very true.
has traveled.
Yeah.
And I can only speak from my experience. My parents, they made sure that I had to go to Zim quite a bit because that was important to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you go to black shows, black traveling shows, I cannot think of one that like even like an intercontinental, let alone an international one.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's
I think so.
Black guy goes to Europe.
We could come up with a better name for
That's
that.
Costs every episode. Black guy goes to Portugal.
I don't know if it's audience for that particular. It's bad marketing.
I would just say black people travel. We can go traveling. Thank you once again, Goliath. I see you in the chat. I
Hey,
appreciate.
Goliath.
I appreciate your sub. We appreciate your sub so much.
We do.
We appreciate your presence. No, YouTube does count. That's not what we're saying. YouTube traveling, that's like a lot more prevalence. But even within that, let's be real here. A lot of the channels you're seeing, whether it's the algorithm, which a lot of it is,
Fuck that algorithm.
and
It doesn't like black people.
doesn't like us,
No.
minorities. But no, I think just, but like, to be honest, like, I mean, Tommy, am I out of pocket saying like that? What I'm thinking, because I do have the tendency to think like not a lot of black people travel like a bunch. But you don't hear of it a lot.
I don't know anyone in my family that had. Well, yeah, no, I'll take that back. I have a few family members who travel, not many.
It's,
I have one cousin that I know that has been out of the country. That's about it.
and when I
We plant our flag.
and it's like, yeah, it's this whole thing about, just getting comfortable in a place. And I have this whole thing where this is not Black exclusive. I think everybody should be just at least seeing what the rest of the world looks like, because America's just one closed off giant box.
Yeah.
And every other country encourages traveling amongst each other except for America and Africa in some places.
Yeah.
But if you go anywhere else, I use the EU as a great example where,
Well, that's different. You can take a train everywhere there.
well, I mean, it's not really that hard to go to Canada or Mexico, which barely count, but they count.
I've already been to, well, no, I haven't been to Mexico. Been to South Texas.
That doesn't count.
That's close enough.
That doesn't. No, don't say that.
It is close. Nuevo Laredo is close.
No, I mean, no, it's not. That's not across the border. That's not the true blue culture.
It's true.
Now it can bleed in. Now I will say, like, if you live in Texas, to be honest,
Right.
you're probably more exposed. And in California, you're probably more exposed to Hispanic, Latin American, like more of that.
Southwest in general.
Yeah, Southwest. You get exposure to Mexican culture,
Right.
but it's not the same. I'll tell you that from being
Well, you
there.
went to Cabo and
I went
Cozumel,
to Cancun, but
Cancun,
I've also actually been.
and Acapulco.
I've also actually been to Mexico proper too.
We didn't hear those stories.
Yeah.
We just heard about your
Yeah, because I've been on
all
vacation the
expenses
last 2
paid
times.
resorts, trips, and shit.
But I've also been to the city propers. I was there, and
All
I
right.
told you I went to an actual. While I was in Cancun, I took like a trip into the main city to go be in like an actual real Dia de los Muertos festival with like people who were there.
Yeah, like the beginning of what James Bond movie was that? Skyfall? Was it Skyfall? With
Never seen a James Bond movie.
That's a whole nother thing we need to talk about. But
I want a black James Bond before
It's
I
not
watch
gonna
James
happen.
Bond.
it'll never happen. We gonna conquer a lot. James Bond is not gonna be one of those things.
Serenity is in the chat saying there's a black man who speaks Spanish and has a channel where he goes all over Latina and South America. Also, as a black man who loves Asia, I watch a lot of Black in Japan and Black in Korea. If you seek it, you will find it. I also watch a great point there. I also watch quite a bit of Black in a lot of Asian countries.
You can relate.
I definitely want to go to Japan. It's already docked up for this year. And hearing, and it's actually pretty crazy when you start to hear what I also fear is that black people will go to these other countries and not want to come back.
No shit. If I go to Europe, I'm not coming back.
I think that's the thing, because when you hear the black in Japan or the black in Korea or a lot of the Asian countries, a lot of them are like, nah, we feel safe and fine here, and it's like, yes,
I read an
it's a
article.
little bit of a not racism, but it's like a little bit of a
It's a different kind of racism, but yeah,
because using Japan as an example, it's super closed up. They just don't like foreigners.
No, anyone.
They do. Unless you're
they like them tourism dollars. Every country does, But yeah, as long as you go home or you're teaching something, otherwise,
It's like, but
Stay
they
in your
feel
lane.
safe, and like people people come up and ask questions and are just curious about them, and that's cool.
Yeah,
Just
it's
when you
less.
when you want to date somebody. That's
That's when the issues come. Otherwise, hey, it's cool. I've never seen one of you guys before. Hey, it's a fascination.
You're also like, by nature, we are tolerant.
Yeah,
Having like a bunch of people
That's
over there.
fine.
So we can be like, I play basketball. Lie.
we can lie all day,
But no,
or you rap.
but see, oh, dude. I watched one of the
The
black.
only two occupations apparently we can have.
I,
Right?
I watched one of the black
Shit.
watch one of the Black in Japan videos, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm a rapper here." I said, "Come on, man, like,
Come on.
get your hustle, but
Something, yeah.
be a sushi chef or something. Be some
I know
diversify."
black people who work for NASA. Like, can we get one of them on there?
Dude, I mean, I have a friend who works for NASA.
As do I. I think it's the same friend.
And I mean, I know, like, but I know a couple people over there, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you go to Japan, you go to these other countries, you come back, and let me rephrase that. You don't want to come
No, I
back.
read an article about a black woman who was just kind of tired of the whole black in America thing and decided to switch it up. I think she moved to Switzerland or some shit. She just went to vacation just to, just see what it was like. She did not come back, got a citizenship there, and she is chilling. Says she has zero intention. I was like, geez, okay.
Dude,
Serenity.
Okay, so time out. I'm gonna read both these comments. First and foremost, Japan is great. Studied there in 2012. Only came back because no visa. Trust the goal has always been to get the hell out of America. The police and people in general are very kind, respectful, and cool in Japan. And then also dating is the same in America for me. They all want BBC, then complain about not being able to find an emotionally good available.
See, we really got to have that Sexcellent show just for Serenity.
Just bring that up.
I will go to Ireland. I do hear Ireland's nice.
What's up? Yeah,
You got to get on that. I feel like that's we have good things to say.
Hell no! You think I'm gonna lock up the sex podcast? Y'all crazy. We clipped that. Shit, we'll put this show on.
Yeah.
But no, not Tommy. I've said this jokingly, and I know you just said it jokingly, but
Right.
genuinely, if you make it out to Europe, not if you, I will
I
make
plan
sure.
on going.
I'll make sure you go out.
Yeah.
My goal is to get you there.
I want to
year.
go outside of the country. I don't want to. It's no place in America I want to go.
No. So my goal is to get you out.
We got boats, right?
No, you're gonna have to fly.
Oh fuck.
You're gonna be on that boat for like ever. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But I kid you not, I think you'll go there, you'll get caught up in all the glitz and glamour of how it's nice to not be hated on in that country, and you might not come back.
So aggressively, yeah.
I mean, shoot, how do I put it? Best way example I was in Germany, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course you were.
Shut up. Stop it. I was in Germany, and I think I've told this story before, but me and my mom, we were there, and we got lost on like a subway system, right? We were just like, oh crap, we took the wrong train somewhere. We were out in the German countryside.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Had a storybooks, and we literally went up and we had to ask somebody, and like this old German woman looked at us and just couldn't understand what you're saying. She brought over her daughter and was just like, her daughter was like, oh hey, she's got to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And you would think, would I be doing the same thing in the countryside of Texas? Absolutely
No.
not. I'm gonna find my way back. But no, the older woman went off and found someone to help us out, which was so
What?
sweet. And I think it was related, but she went off for a little bit, came back, and the little girl helped us out.
Didn't feel threatened at all?
Not one bit.
What?
Now, that's not to say every country's a utopia. A lot of countries didn't have
shit,
different
it's
sort
a
of.
few dicks in that country, I'm sure.
course.
But
I mean-
just in general, that being that's crazy. That would have been a cops getting called on situation here for sure.
So I would take. How do I describe it? Oh wait.
Yes, I would go to Samoa.
We're seeing. I'm seeing a lot of activity in the chat today off the subject. Yeah. Okay. So, Fiero Fire 616
I'll
says,
take
"I'm old
a
as fuck.
trip to
Never been out of
Japan.
Texas. Would be nice to try somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know what?
I like that.
I try and tell people. I think people get and build the idea of traveling so difficult in their head, or it's expensive.
Yeah.
Those
I
two
saw
things being
Home
true.
Alone. It looks like a pain in the ass.
And always gonna forget somebody.
Yeah. Someone's getting forgotten.
That's not how it
My
works.
mom, my
Tommy.
girlfriend, someone I'm going to forget about. Somebody says Home Alone. That's why that stuck with me for a long time growing up. I felt like, it just seems hectic and frantic. People all the time, people running through the airport trying to catch a flight.
No, dude, you just
It's
get there
crowded
early.
as
And,
fuck.
honestly, you just get there early and sit.
I'm claustrophobic, man.
Okay.
All that, the people, the giant tube in the sky, you can't go anywhere.
You have to get your first flight out the way.
Oh.
And then after that, it's really easy. And I mean, granted, now I'm a little bit biased because I've been doing it since I was little, so
Right.
it doesn't really bug me that much. But as I'm older, right, I still have anxiety sometimes about flights because you get on a plane. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you'll get on a plane, you'll be like, man, this plane looks a little older than what I'm used to, right? And that might, but for a lot of the times, you don't even notice. You'll fall asleep. The long flights, international flights, are a little bit tricky because there's no like, hey, I'm just gonna pass out for the entire flight. A lot of the times, you're gonna be awake for a portion of it, and then you got to figure out what to do. But man, it's so worth it when you get to that destination. But when it comes to
it gives me anxiety just thinking about that.
But you got to rip off that Band-Aid. You don't want to be that person who's not well
Give me
traveled.
a short flight. What's the shortest flight I can take? Like here to Dallas?
No, Max. Here to Dallas is you won't even know you're in the fucking air. Like it's like
here to San Antonio. Is there even a flight for that?
Why would you do that? That's a waste of
time. It's like 30 minutes, right?
No, it's easier to fly to Dallas.
I don't want to go to Dallas. That's the thing. I don't ever want to go to Dallas.
Fly to Shut up. That's a travel more.
It's not Texas, but
but nah. I try and tell people when it comes to traveling, like really, it's just about doing it. You just put aside the cost for a little bit. Put aside.
Oh no, it's some hella deals these days.
There's a lot of deals.
Yes,
There's a lot of easy way. Like you can get in your car.
Here's the thing.
You can get in your car and drive. If you really want to save money, and it's not really saving money.
It's a great idea.
It's after you come with gas, especially.
No, it's about the same actually, if not maybe more expensive.
Like it depends. Like there's kind of like a bubble. If we're going from here to New Orleans, that's arguable. Yeah. But if we're going from like here to Florida, I might just tell you, trust me, it's less worth the headache to just fly.
Well, you're going to Florida, so that's a headache in and of itself. But like, I don't know. To me, it's also the feeling I'm so away from home where my stuff is, and I'm stranded. Like I'm legit stranded. I don't know anybody in this place. What if something goes awry? You know, my emergency contact's in Texas.
What happens?
I'm gonna get like taken styled. I don't know why.
No.
I think slavery's making a comeback, Sammy. Legit ass old school slavery.
The worst slave.
Oh, they would kill me immediately. I'm not doing shit for the white man.
I think that.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think that when it comes to that sort of feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Tommy, look, it don't matter an emergency contact or not if you can be in your own house, trip, fall, and die.
Right.
Emergency contact is there for like I keep it $1.50. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's like some people are like, I don't know. It was like, shoot. Anything can happen anywhere. Oh. You can be driving to work in your casual same ass route and get nixed, and that's it.
Well, no, I know, but someone will know immediately.
And if something happens in these other countries, first of all,
I'll be forgotten in time.
Not necessarily.
It'll be what happened in Tom. It'll be YouTube videos about me and shit. I don't want that.
That's not the way it works.
Mysteries. I don't want to be on Unsolved Mysteries.
You're not that special. Stop it. You're not a white woman who gets kidnapped.
That is true. I'm not a white woman. But
suck.
Oh no, they're all useless. Every organ's useless.
When it goes to like, first of all, you're down the healthcare of these college educated kids. They're fine. like, if you're talking to me about like some village in Zimbabwe, yes, maybe I can understand where you're coming from because you got to know your shit. But
so, mark that off the list.
But when it comes to a lot of other places, I
want to go to Ghana.
It goes to why Ghana in particular?
Because I can get citizenship there very easy. Well, I don't know why I quotationed it. I can actually.
Yeah, you're like, I can get citizen
there.
It's like I think.
Yeah, according to them, black people from all over the world can go back there.
Of course, because I feel like
I thought that was beautiful, so I was like, of course I'd go.
What I tell realty, just I get the fears. I do. I get the also understanding like socioeconomic and economic, limitations.
Yeah.
Like, but it all starts with just trying it once outside of your comfort zone, outside of your bubble. And what I mean by that is, people be like, I went camping in the same state. Like, go camping anywhere. Like, oh, I went to, from Seattle to Oregon. I'm like, that's the same shit, different flavors.
I can do without those too.
But you could do without everything. Let me get on my high horse.
You've been there, motherfucker. You go to
But no, for real.
Weren't you in South America like 3 weeks ago?
No, I was not in South America.
Have you? You've been clearly.
No, I've not actually. I've
Colombia?
never been. Tommy, you think I'd come back?
Ray went to Colombia.
Do you think I'd come back?
Looked beautiful.
Yeah, I'd be in those countries if I was single.
Everywhere. It looked beautiful. Yeah, I can't go to South America. I'm not coming back.
No, I said I'm a happily taken man at the moment.
South America's off limits.
Yeah, South America.
As am I. South America's off limits for sure.
I told my girlfriend, just don't trust me. If I say I'm going on a guy's trip, there's an entire continent I'm not allowed to visit.
Yeah, you can't do it. You just can't do it.
But no, seriously, like just try it out, test it, see what you can do, piece it together. It's worth that exposure. It's worth that experience because you get to see something that's completely different. And especially for those in Texas or some of those, a lot of Southwest suffers to this, but particularly Texas, it's a younger state in the history of like development. Yeah, it's a younger state in comparison.
Oh,
right?
yeah, true.
And so if you go to like Washington, D.C. or something, you're going to see history.
Or like Boston.
Or Boston.
Which I
Like
will
you see things that are like super long standing.
Yeah.
That's not something that happens
Cobblestone
here.
streets and shit.
Like, shoot, even New Orleans, like you'll go over there and be like, there's history
Yeah,
here.
you can feel it.
And but Texas doesn't do that.
No,
So the moment you
it's
go to
some missions
somewhere,
and shit, random missions. If you just drive, you'll see them.
but like nothing really
That's about it. Yeah.
that's been here that
No,
you can
that's
see
as long as we got.
established.
Right.
So if you go to one of these places, you'll start to see and be like, wow, like it hit me when I first, like, because I used to rag on America quite a bit because I was like, man, none of these places feel like they have
They're
history.
not super old. Yeah.
Yes, like we're not super old. But then I went to Washington, D.C., I went to the Northeast, went to California, San Francisco in particular, and you start to see it. In particular, New Orleans was the one that really triggered
Yeah,
me.
that's what got me to like, oh, there's history in places. Like there are old buildings. And that's why I love New Orleans so much.
So I really want to make sure it's pertinent and important for, people to travel. But Black people in particular, there is something that is indescribable whenever you go to somewhere. Like, fuck a lot of there's a lot of underdeveloped places, a lot of question marks when it comes to Africa. But touch Johannesburg, touch, just any Cape Town.
Yeah.
Touch Cape Town. Be in an environment where you're the majority and see.
That's what I want to do. It's like watching Black Panther, but I'm in it.
No, literally.
Yeah.
We're like,
It would warm my heart.
every
man.
time I'm
Yeah.
in Zimbabwe, it's like weird because it's like
That's just
the only
us
thing
here.
the only thing they look at me for is because of like when I talk.
The
They're
accent,
like,
yeah.
They're like, oh, you're American. But anytime I walk out there, they're just like, and it's so
Hey,
nice.
Fuck that. All those Netflix like South African shows and movies, they speak perfect English.
They do because English is normal there.
That's what I'm saying.
Colonization, but
It helps us though.
it
It helps American Black people when we go there.
does.
It does. Yeah, it's fine.
But there's so much of the world out there. America's just one place in it. And don't get it twisted. As I've been traveling more of America, like these individual cities are like crazy how much diversity you can get from going from the northeast to the northeast to the northwest, southeast, southwest. It's very different. But it's just a different flavor when you step out of this country. And you come back and you're like, there's things you appreciate more. There's things you appreciate a lot less. And then there's a lot of things where you'll be like, wow, school,
Sucks here.
sucks here
Yeah.
a lot. These kids are smart and they learn like 5
Oh, they're
different
fucked.
languages.
These kids are fucked.
By the way, like most other countries by
Education's
nature
terrible
are
in this country.
bilingual. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because they have to learn English.
You have to.
Like a lot of these countries, like
And plus television, movies, all that shit. So it just kind of comes to them. If they want to learn it, it's kind of hit
it's
there.
just there. It's an option.
Yeah, and we have to seek that shit out, like Duolingo and shit. Like it's bothersome. It's kind of bothersome.
But let's talk about other bothersome and problematic.
Oh,
No, I'm
fuck,
kidding.
man.
I'm kidding. Today, you know what we're here for. We're going to dive into it in just a second. I'm going to roll the intro and we'll get into what we're actually here to talk about, which is to celebrate what, Tommy?
Black History Month. It ain't Juneteenth.
You're like it ain't the day.
Yeah.
Real hard. What up, people? We're here for the Blaxcellence History Month special. I just hit it for a high note.
I can't. I can, but I can't.
Look, we're going to talk about that.
No. It's like this is Cinco de Mayo for us. Like, this shit ain't real.
No.
They came up with this.
we going to get into it.
Okay.
We going to get into
Juneteenth is our shit.
Juneteenth is dope.
We will have a Juneteenth special.
We did last year, too.
We did, because that's the real day.
But
we'll get
first
to that.
of all, introduce yourself with your ebony glory over there.
My name is Tommy, and I'm black.
That's all he needs to say.
That's it.
And if this is your first Blaxcellence show, well, hey, we do these pretty regularly.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Due to some technical
That made a person laugh.
due to some technical complications, aka if one of us gets sick, there is no Blaxcellence that's
or
possible.
leaves the country.
Or leaves the country.
That would be it. Actually,
let's
both
just say
would be
a lot of this has been on.
You know
me.
why you get sick so much? Because you travel too much.
Wanna know why my
Yeah,
immune
that's
system's
it.
strong? Because I travel so much.
I don't think it is strong. You were
It's
sick
not.
every other day.
It's really not.
No.
That's having to get my ass beat by. No, I messed up because I didn't mask on the flight back, and that's what messed me up.
Oh, you gotta do it.
From Miami. I was there.
This ain't
2
even a
weekends.
COVID thing anymore. You're in a little ass tube.
No, mask up on the planes.
Ugh.
Just like I just didn't have one, and
Yeah.
I usually always do. And I was
That's
like, crap.
much.
But nah, I'm all about masking on planes, not just because of COVID, because it has literally
It's kinda
stopped me from getting
gross.
sick. No, planes are gross.
Yeah.
They're
What are the
they're.
bathrooms like in those things?
I don't use them.
Damn. That bad.
No, it's not that. I just
You travel internationally. How the hell do you not use the bathroom?
You learn to. First of all, okay, depends on how long the flight is.
Yeah.
For intercontinental,
Didn't you go to like Monaco
like
a couple
usually,
weeks ago?
I'm usually pretty good with my bladder.
Abu Dhabi. You went to Abu Dhabi, right?
I've not been to Abu Dhabi.
Really? That's next on the list, clearly.
I would love.
Dubai?
Oh, dude, I'd love to go to Dubai.
Yeah, I know that's on your bucket list.
Shoot, wouldn't it be for you? Like Dubai sounds cool.
I mean, that's what all the rich people are. I haven't made to that status yet, TJ. You will make it there before I do.
No, I just want to be guilty by association. You gonna see me next to random cars, like
Yeah. Oh shit, he next to the new Bugatti. Shit.
yeah. I was like, hey, I don't. We don't speak the same language, but I know you can speak broke. I was like, you want to let me? Can we be friends?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Man. This is going into like some way back history, but when I was in college, there was this one girl who was from Dubai, and I'm talking gorgeous.
She's from Dubai.
And
Yeah, of course.
when it came like, bona fide simping, every thought went through my mind. Like when it was like, how should I play this shot? Because
You
it's
act like I don't know who this person is. But
no, not that one.
Okay.
She was not from Dubai.
You got a hell of a type. Okay.
Now time
Okay,
out.
I'm sorry.
Don't you incriminate me.
I mean,
There are patterns.
you can't help it. No one can help, just.
Okay, let's be real here.
We run into patterns, and I've run into a million redheads in my life. They wasn't really by choice. It just happened.
I didn't, bro. It was not even like it just happened. That was
It happens, yeah.
But no, I was like, how should I play this shot? I never did. But
Right.
man, I'm talking like, because I was
Could you
just
have imagined that would have been family vacations again with this?
I was strictly just, it was off of intimidation
Yeah.
that I was like, I don't even think I could do this. I was like, I walked away. I just said, I can't even do this.
Listen to me. I've known you for a long time. You're one of the most confident men I know. The fact you just walked away, I can only imagine what this woman looked like.
Man, I'll wish to hold me's on Facebook. I was supposed to hold me on Instagram, so I'll show you later. But like, it was like,
No, look, I think we've all done that. I think we've all run into one that if we maybe would have played our cards right, it would have been one of those like, why is she with him type of situations. But I think we could have pulled it off. Like, there's one that I was just like, yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to attempt.
no, it's like you have that moment where like you just have to be honest with
And
yourself.
it's so much so to where like you can befriend them. And you're just like, yeah, I will friend zone myself.
That's exactly what I
this is.
said.
Yeah.
I was like, man, let's talk about your fashion.
Yeah.
It's like, can we talk about your outfits?
Oh, you know me. I don't like elephants in a room, so I'll address shit. And I legit was just like, look, here's the deal. You are too hot. And I'm not even going to try to cross that line because no, I don't need any of what.
Let me put up this wall.
Literally, I was like, I don't need any of what this provides. Like, you know, that would be one thing, and everything that comes with that one thing, not worth it. So you know what, me and you got a buddy for life, and that is it.
Nah, because
Big brother, right here.
oh yeah,
that
let me
kinda shit.
I'll son a dude for you.
Matter
right
of fact,
quick.
yeah, no, actually, I didn't say I'd friend zone myself. I said, no, you're friend zone. There you go.
Actually, girl, you're friend zoned
right off the bat.
Nah, she
didn't like that. But
hey, that's how sometimes I respect you
that's
for
what
being
it is,
honest.
yeah.
But nah, man, dead ass. What is it? Tie 95. It was like, yeah, she's too bad for me. That's the
Yeah.
only girl that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I just
We run into him.
good.
Yeah.
I'm good. But that was before. I will say that was before. I had my villainous origin story. It's just not me being a villain. More so, got my heart broken once. I said, that's where true confidence.
Well, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
That happens.
That just happens.
It's kind of the catalyst for a lot of fuck boys, believe it or not.
I was
That's
not a
the origin
fuckboy.
story. I didn't say you were. I'm just saying in general. You didn't get that far, but like, you were very upfront about your shit. Fuck boys or not.
I was like, hey, this is what our relationship
This is what it is, yeah.
Non-existent. But
Yeah, fuck boys do the manipulative shit because they want revenge on all women because one broke their heart or some shit. Like,
no, I just said, man, that was a lot of work for nothing. I'm good. I said, why don't we just be more cordial?
oh, so you
about this
actually
experience?
tried. You did try.
What's up?
Huh?
Oh, with that situation?
Yeah. And then
Of course I
then early on you were just like, I tap out.
That's literally it. I
Yeah.
said, oh wait, no. With the girl, like the hot girl who's too bad for me. No.
Okay.
Nah, with who you probably thinking
Yes.
of.
Oh, I already know
yeah.
that. I know
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
too.
yeah. I mean, that was the one that
Yeah,
ended
okay.
up with me.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, but
That's
that was different.
That's for a different show. That was for a different
Sexless
show.
one day.
Sexless one of these days, yeah.
But no, we're here to talk about, and it does have some controversy as well. Black History Month. And I actually wanted to do something.
People don't want it to be a thing.
Yeah, people don't want it to be a thing. People
Don't want it to be taught.
don't want it to be taught.
Old states. That
Florida
shouldn't exist.
hates Black history because it has queer aspects in prisons.
Yep. Florida, America's limp penis.
Man, it's crazy because you be in Florida and you're like, damn, it made Texas look good. I was like,
Barely. Just barely.
I was like,
Oh.
I'll take my Abbott craziness.
Greg Abbott bitch ass is working on something too,
Bro, he's in the
Got to keep up with Florida.
it's a dick measuring contest, literally.
Yeah. Who has the smallest one?
I mean, Florida's literally shaped like a flaccid penis.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But no,
Ron DeSantis looked like he got tiny dick energy. I could see that.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
But
I keep picturing him as a guy who has one earring and like an open, collar with the hair. And he's just not that guy. He's not cool,
see, if he was like, as shitty as this is to say, if he was like machismo
He looks like the
Cuban
cop from The
or
Simpsons.
something,
Yeah.
and he was saying these
Yeah.
things, I'd be like, damn, that's a cool looking dude.
I'm not buying into what he's saying, but I don't know if I'd fuck with him. He has a cigar. It's a press conference.
Just came out was like, I don't want that in my state. I'd be like,
Yeah.
well,
Listen, teaching any of that here, all right? Press conference over. I'd just be like, God damn, I guess we ain't teaching Black history then.
Man.
Shit.
I'm all about allyship, but I don't think anybody should get any shine here.
Like, someone needs to investigate that state, huh? Some RICO charges on that state.
Yeah, if you want to get some outlandish charges, just be cooler.
So what we're saying is Florida is shit.
But, when it comes to just Black history in general, a lot of people have mixed feelings on it, rightfully so.
Really?
Mainly because
What, the month or Black history in general?
Black history, both actually.
Okay.
Black History Month, mainly because a lot of people, which understandably so, are like, hey, why are we, reserved to just a singular month? Like, why are we only highlighting some of the same aspects we usually do during Black history, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always got to mention some things about slavery, some things about About oppression.
All the hits.
Like all the greatest hit selections on African Americans.
We got slavery. We got segregation.
It's like that track your mom always runs back with your cleaning, right?
Oh man.
So when it comes to that, a lot of people just have reservations on it occasionally, right?
Yeah.
And I have feelings on that, but I want to start this conversation just out the gate, ripping off this Band-Aid of my opinion. I think Black History Month is quintessential. I think it's important. But the reason why I say it's important is because I'm not I'm not disagreeing that I think Black history is American history. It should just be taught.
It should just be integrated into American history.
But I also think that there is a need for, in today's society, for everyone to slow down with all the crazy shit going on and to have a moment where they focus in on a particular topic and subject matter over the course of whether that's a time period and or a few days, right? I think it just slows a lot of the proliferating conversations down and makes it a focal point. That said, I do think that there has to be some adjustments to the curriculum. Make it more fun. Bring up the fun and interesting things
look, man,
that
I don't know if you've been reading articles, but every time a teacher tries to make Black history fun in a classroom, blackface is typically involved, and it goes horribly awry.
I mean, make sure that you run your Black History Month curriculum through a Black person first.
Vet your teachers. That helps also.
Or if you're a Southern state, just don't do it. But
it's got to be taught. The thing about it is we've done so goddamn much. Shout out to Granville T. Woods. I want that T-shirt still, by the way.
Hey man, he's the hero.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
If you don't know that callback, you need to watch our shows.
Google him, Granville T. Woods, and you will be amazed. But yeah, we've done a lot, and it deserves its own course because it's a lot of it. Because good and goddamn well they're not going to teach it, and they're going to prioritize like the Alamo and lying to people about that shit. Like the Mexicans were the bad guys in that.
Who knew that you trying to fuck up someone's shit would make them mad? Taking
something that someone let you borrow with the only stipulation being just don't have slaves and you lost your shit. Anyways, history is what we're doing here today. But yeah, no, man, I mean, it's a lot of shit. Like, if you really want to get in depth in civil rights, that's going to take longer than 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's just a lot. But here's the thing. It is crucial because it's a part of this country in the way it is.
And a lot of people will say, why do we have the shortest month? Well, at least we have an actual month. I'm pretty sure Hispanic History Month.
Now.
No, Hispanic History Month isn't even a month.
It's split to two. Yeah.
It's not even fair.
It's really not. It's just 30 days.
Calendar starts now.
Yeah.
At least we have a dedicated,
It is fucked up.
February.
We know all of February. It's us.
But the other part about that, the other reason I like it is because, I don't know. There's something about and maybe it's just because of the way we're upbringing. Some about February just make I wouldn't want to change Black History Month from this time.
No.
At this point, I would just add more days to February, call it a thing, because it's never made sense why February has 28 days. No one wants to explain that to me, but 27
No one's
days.
ever explained that, right?
I don't want to look into
the history. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. But today, what I wanted to have fun with, and we wanted to go in a couple aspects.
Yeah.
I wanted to first understand, what Black history memories and or things are important to you, as well as discuss the actual history of Black history.
I do know that one a little bit.
Right?
Oh, no, not the Black. I know Black history. I don't know about the Black history of the month.
Yeah, the actual month.
I have no fucking clue.
And that's what I said. I said a lot of people have never taken the opportunity.
What president signed off on this? One of them had to.
Yeah, one of them just had to say, I'll get into it.
Okay.
But I was like, it might be fun to actually look at, we talk about the history. What about the history of why this thing was established? But for starters, Tommy, when you think of Black History Month, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And, just walk me through how you grew up with it.
The first thing that I think of is, of course, Civil Rights Movement. It's just the first thing that pops into my mind when I think Black History Month.
For sure.
It's a lot more, obviously, slavery and the whole nine. And shout out to Goliath, too, because, yes, that is an integral part of Black history, is Black queer history, honestly. You got your Marsha P. Johnsons, I love
we have
James
to get
Baldwin.
black people.
James Baldwin is
We
a
have to
hero
get black
of mine.
people comfortable with even
Yeah.
listening to that history regularly.
It's
Guess what would
real
happen
history.
if they would hear it in classrooms as they're growing up?
Yeah.
Maybe they'd actually,
Grow up to not judge people for stupid fucking reasons,
Kind of no
Maybe
big-
look at character. I don't know. Something weird like that, but, as it were, it doesn't happen that way. I want just super in-depth, like, black history. Like I said, it would have to be its own course just to get into the weeds of shit. Like, fuck, I didn't know about Fred Hampton. I knew about him, but I didn't know until goddamn Judas and the Black Messiah. And to me, look, if it's a pecking order, if we're going pecking orders, which is us, so we can do it, white people can't. We can do it. It's like
Only us.
It's like the N-word. I know you don't like it, but that's what we like about it. Here's
Secret club.
Yeah.
Some people don't like me for saying
Oh, it's true. They don't.
Look,
Can I address that person now?
no, you can't call
Oh,
them by
God damn
name.
it. No, I wasn't going to call him by now. Just go, hey, nigga, look. It's the only time we'll say it because it's the Black History Show, and you made me say it. You did. Okay? And you know who you are. TJ knows who you are. We all know who you are. And I'm going to end on this. It's the last thing I'll say. This last time I'll say it on the Black History Month episode. Nigga, calm the fuck down. Okay? All right, you can go ahead.
To put it in a more eloquent phrase.
Yeah, you can do that.
I totally understand your perspective. I totally understand where you're coming
I
from.
get it. It's
But
all,
also,
since we're here, let's gloss over that.
Yeah, I try my best. If you've noticed, I do say the N-word. It's not out of malice. It's not out
No.
of anything other than, just it was something in my vernacular
Yeah.
that I feel comfortable with saying, and I say it with those who I identify with.
Yes.
Now, do I be saying it like that all the time?
No,
Absolutely not.
you
Like, I have
don't.
two different voices,
Yeah.
and I don't feel.
I
like-
rarely say it ever.
and
He made me. He did.
that's not what he
I
forced
didn't
my
want
hand.
to. I didn't want to, TJ. Not on this episode. He did that.
But, I just think it comes from a place of, hey, you know what? Understand where you're coming from. I don't think it should affect people's feelings that bad.
It's our word. We each got the gift of it. Do with it what you will.
I got the power.
Your hand starts glowing.
Got the glow.
Do with it what you will, because to me, the best part of that word is white people can't say it, and it drives them fucking crazy. I'm gonna be honest. That is my favorite fucking part. It's one thing you can't have.
just universal.
Can't have it,
And no, it's not any of the hosts. It's not. No, don't worry about it. It's not. Because people were like, "Was it when?" I was like, "No, it's not any of the hosts."
Don't say the N-word, TJ.
Shut up. But no. Like I think that sometimes, not that we give it too much power,
Right.
but within the community, right? Like
It means something different to
it
us.
just means something different.
To me,
And it's like, hey, I understand where you come from,
Yeah.
but I also want to be understood and like not let it shouldn't like make me look like a bad person. Hopefully,
no,
so.
it doesn't. Because look, that's the thing. It's our thing, so it could come from a place of love, confusion. Nigga. Like, it's our thing. And here's the gauge for it. And this is how I put it. If someone says it and you feel love instead of, not hate, but like hurt, if you feel love instead of hurt, if you don't feel an awkward feeling, it's okay for that person to say.
Yeah, if you don't have to double think.
If you don't have to double think it.
If you're not like,
if you're like, wait a minute.
whoa, did that
Yeah.
come out of my
If
mouth?
there's a flinch of that person should, and they're not in the community, they shouldn't say it.
But see, that's
They
that's the whole
shouldn't
thing,
say it
Serenity.
ever.
Like, I totally understand where you
Yeah.
come from, right? And I don't sit here and try and take that aspect
No.
away from you. And I try my best, like when it comes to an actual articulation of conversation, like trust me, there's two different TJs you're gonna get. Semicolon. However, hey, if I'm comfortable with people and I'm just slinging it like I do on the show, because I'm comfortable with y'all.
Yeah.
I hope
here's
it's not a flack towards me.
And here's the thing that I don't like about it. It's the thing I don't think we think about that often is why don't we like that we can say it for you, motherfucker, you.
I'm not that mad.
I am. I didn't like that shit. I don't like that shit. Because look, here's the thing about me. Motherfuckers who don't like us to say that, the reason is, like the white people, like no one should say it. Like it either comes from one or two places. well, they can't say it, so we shouldn't say it either, which is definitely the wrong fucking attitude to have. And then it's just a thing like, you're making us look bad.
See, that one I don't agree.
It's either one of those two things.
And don't get twisted. Look, I'm also someone, I think you've heard me say it, I don't like it when rappers just casually toss it as an easy way to rhyme. Like,
I don't like that shit because it's going to be white people at their concert singing right along to the shit. And it's just.
Yeah, it's a mixed conversation.
Like, I'm not buying their albums. So it's like, we know who is. Yeah, that one's a little bit different if you kind of make it to where it's like, hey, hey, white people at my shows say it. Unlike a Kendrick Lamar who shut that shit down immediately.
Real quick.
Really, really quick, which knock yourself out, Kendrick. It's okay for you to use it because you set the tone. Like you flat out said it. If I see a motherfucker say it, I'm calling you out on it. And that's part of my thing of why I love it, TJ. It's because it makes it an awkward situation, and I love that.
But I mean, to me, I just to end off on it, right? Just hey, look, comes from a place of understanding, comes from a place of love for the most part, for me.
Comes from a place of love,
but also,
and look, and to finish my point on that, like that reasoning of you're making us look bad, it's a whole thing. It's like we need to stop that shit. Who gives a flying fuck? We're not here to impress a whole nother group of people. We're not here to appease a whole nother group of people. Like that, the code switching at work and this, that, and the other.
Which I have to do. You have to.
We have to. We do. And in the work world, we kind of do. But to me, I hate doing that, but that's where that shit ends. You know what I mean? That's as far as I'll let that slide. Because the thing is, I'm not going to be ashamed of any of that shit. We talk about all kinds of shit. I just made fun of you the other day for socks and slides. Like, we talk about black shit.
Why you gonna put me out like
that?
That's
what I'm saying.
How you gonna...
Nigga, you've walked in here a million times looking like my father.
I normally don't wear
Same
socks.
wardrobe. But it's like, no, man, I will not. I will talk about fried chicken. I will talk about, like, my soul food Sunday dinners with my family. I will talk about that shit because that's our fucking culture. And I don't care who likes it. I don't care who thinks it's a fucking stereotype.
Shit, my bad. It was on me.
That is our fucking shit. And I won't be ashamed of it. I won't back away from it. I won't, like, step away to make someone else comfortable. That's my shit. And the word nigga is my shit, as is all black people's. So fuck you. I don't like him. I don't know who the fuck it was, motherfucker.
He's like, I don't even know.
You fucked with the wrong one. God damn it.
Hey.
I'm sorry. This shouldn't be an angry show.
I said, I hope you still ride with us. And
you ride with him, motherfucker. You don't ride with me.
You can ride with me anytime. I'm just nice.
I'm sorry, Sammy. It's one dude, and he's not my fan. He's your fan. I don't claim him. I don't want him.
But I will say.
Holla at me in my DMs. We can talk about it if you want. I am going to call him the N-word, though.
I will also. I will also say.
That's how I fucking started off.
I will also say, man, and this will also, like, in order for the other part about this is like,
Josh, man, you good? You know you good.
Negro is black and Spanish, so like, I mean, we're already kind of like, there's a whole other language that uses it regularly. So I mean,
yeah, like what can you do?
But going back on the topic at hand, and I know y'all guys are having a conversation about curse words. Man, I don't think it makes you look dumb if you use a curse word. I'm like,
oh no, I curse
sometimes
constantly.
It's just easier to somehow you're feeling in a singular
If
word.
I had $1 every time I said fucking a day, I would end the day with like $400.
Yeah, I'd be like,
it'd be great.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's
God damn, he worked me up, TJ.
Man,
we don't need, fans like that.
Hey, now I got you. I'm gonna cool you down.
Okay.
With some lovely history. Now,
I like history.
Now, from my perspective, right, with black history, with blackness and authenticity, I think Black History Month was the fun part of school, right? For history class,
right. History
class gets boring. The whole point with social studies is, man, after you get to like 9th grade, you've heard the shit before, and really you're only getting more depth on the same topics that you've heard before.
It's the same shit every year,
and you're like, all right, look, I need some new. But they also only unveil the real shit with Black history as you get older too, and kind of sort of barely.
No, I don't know. Where did you go to school? Dallas, I assume.
I was taking AP classes, Tommy. So
what did they teach you in AP history? Because that would have been the tippy top, right? That would have been the very in-depth shit that you could
I'll tell
learn.
you what they didn't teach me about.
Let me guess. Black Wall Street.
What's Black Wall Street?
I found that in Watchmen.
Listen, man, did you know that we had a whole housing district that generational wealth? That concept.
Yeah.
I
Oh, you
never
mean we
heard-
had that, huh? We were
did?
building that, right? Motherfuckers had planes, TJ. They took cropping planes to drop bombs on this town. Like, and we didn't know a lot of motherfuckers. Me, it's one of the most shameful things in my life that I didn't know about that till Watchmen. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. And then a white friend of mine was like, bro, that was real. I'm like, what? And then it sent me down a whole rabbit hole where I discovered the Red Summer. If you don't know about that, look that shit up. Just as
Bro,
bad.
that sounds like some Game of Thrones shit.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty Game of Thrones-ish. Pretty, a lot of lynchings that summer.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, a lot of race riots that summer. It was like 11, I believe. Maybe less. Don't put me on that exactly. It was a lot of fucking race wars across the country, a lot of lynchings. Bad time that is never talked about anywhere.
And I mean, that's the whole thing, right, man?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't get to learn about the real.
Mm-hmm. You know me, I have a lot of fun,
Yeah.
obscure Black history facts that I will share here tonight.
I mean, shoot, I like to think about it this way. I tell people the feeling you felt when you watched Judas and the Black Messiah, which is the same one I got too. The feeling that you felt is how it feels about like a litany of other Black history moments that don't get showcased.
Yeah.
You realize how shitty Black people have really been treated in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also why I sit there sometimes and going to travel, I'm like, why do we fight so hard for this country? Like, but at the same note, Black history is just a time where it was cool because you were getting focused on, and it was getting focused on, even if it was the light level stuff, right?
Yeah.
There would be requirements where
Which was
you
more
sit
than what
there-
we ever had before.
Shoot, my friend Martin, did you watch that?
No,
It's like the one where the little kid was went back in time. And-
we did not get to watch
Really?
that one. No.
Oh, time out. What did y'all watch? I'm pulling this up. real quick.
I think the most in-depth thing we watched was Eye on the Prize. And that teacher got fired not that too long. We'll have to show it as that.
What's Eye on the Prize?
It's a really good document. Fuck, man. It's the documentary that the Judas and the Black Messiah, it was his last interview, then he killed himself a little bit after that interview.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty much just a documentary about the struggle. But they have like little tidbits like that in there, and it's well worth watching. It's been around for a long time, at least like 30 or 40 years.
Well, we used to watch. So I pulled it up. I found the trailer. Dog. Sorry, I'm laughing already. I'm surprised you never saw this.
I do remember the CB. Oh, nope.
Let me turn on the volume.
Oh, wait, did they ever show us this?
An exciting full-length animated adventure about 12-year-old Miles and his best friend Randy, who journey back through time and meet Martin Luther King Jr. during various stages of his life.
Whoa, Randy, this is major magic time. We're actually in the past.
Featuring an all-star cast, original music and songs, and actual historical footage of Dr. King.
I have a dream.
Our Friend Martin, an entertaining and inspiring tale for the whole family.
And all we need is a dream and the courage to make it happen.
Coming exclusively to video.
They wouldn't allow that. No fucking way. Nah.
Man, I watched the shit out of this growing up. Like,
Dude, that's banned now. You know that, right? Yeah, see, that's CRT like a motherfucker right there.
Hey, man, it was
A black dude with a white best friend going to meet Martin Luther King Jr.? No, you're indoctrinating.
Man,
That's
they had-
indoctrinating
If
right
I remember,
there.
they had like a whole. They had like not a subplot, but like they had like that. One of the best friend, like one of the friend group was Latina. Also did a little touch on that. Like it was a lot.
Yeah, it looks like every other school showed this shit but mine.
Yeah, I think you might have got left out. We need to talk
know where
about
I
the
come
grades.
from. Yeah, that's
School system.
these motherfuckers didn't teach us right from left. He literally said move left. I'm like, this way?
That is left.
Well, I learned that in high school, Sammy. No shit.
I learned mine from a song called The Boogie Walk.
it should be a tradition. It's a great tradition. Our friend Martin was awesome.
Apparently, people are just like nostalgic over it.
No, it's better than it has any right to be. It's 100% 90s.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna feel it. You're gonna be like, I'm getting.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, I'm getting a message at the end.
The black dude's wearing the jersey. Any animated thing you watch and the black guy's wearing the jersey, it's probably in the 90s.
But I mean, it was a good display of Martin Luther King.
It's the best you were gonna get.
And you got to see him in different stages in life. And they had that man looking like a hero. You saw him playing baseball looking like an all-star.
I mean, he's the one good one, remember?
But I grew up watching that a bunch.
Yeah, like he's the one black person that they invoke,
It's the one we get.
them. Yeah, it's just like,
Where's Malcolm?
oh, dude, I didn't find out about Malcolm till college, I think.
Now
I'd heard of because the Spike Lee's movie is how I knew he existed, but it wasn't like until college where I really got in the depths of it.
They
And-
always do that thing where you'll have and it was in the old school textbooks, you'll have this long about Martin Luther King, 2-3 pages.
Maybe
and then an excerpt on a picture
No, it'd be
of
that
Malcolm
little,
X.
the little side note. It was a side note. I think we had the same book. It was a side note. And that was it. And that's all you got from him.
They'd be like, Malcolm X.
Like, well, what are they gonna say?
X. What do you?
It's a little aggressive.
He had more radical thoughts.
That
than
was
Martin.
it. Radical. That was he had radical thoughts.
And you'd be like,
His
what did
shit
he
made
do?
sense. Pretty common sense, actually.
But it was really. I think that knowing what I know now, there's
Right.
so much more that could have been intertwined into the history conversations in the school system, and I know we talk about that quite a bit. But in particular, just that feeling of when your eyes are open because you go to a college and you pay money for them to teach you properly.
Yeah.
And you just start to be like, I didn't know any of these things existed. I didn't know these aspects that make up true Black history are actually there. And
You wanna know
I shouldn't be learning this from a Google and or a classroom.
Yeah.
I should have heard this from
Or
a
YouTube.
classroom that
Yeah.
I'm paying for. Should have been learning about this
Learning
while I was
there.
growing up. So I'm not hit with the shock.
The feeling I had after learning about Black Wall Street and learning about the Red Summer and all that, it made me very sad and also a little afraid to the fact that shit like that was suppressed that much.
Dude,
That's crazy to me.
we talked about, remember on our 90s show episode,
Yeah.
we talked about how clean the erasure of normality
Mm-hmm.
of all those shows of color, hip hop, R&B.
Yeah, man. No, dude. That was hilarious because I dropped you off after that show and we talked about that shit for a solid almost hour. God damn.
No,
man.
we sat in the car and we're just like,
Almost in silence, just what the fuck? It was so much happening back then.
and it just,
Like a switch flipped. We had black shows everywhere, across the board, every network. Prime time.
and that's where you'd be.
A whole network. UPN was a whole network dedicated.
And you'd see, and you got to see Black people who weren't just struggling, right? You got to
Right.
see
Every aspect. Rock. Come on, man.
But it's crazy just how easy some things are. And it's I don't want to blame just the education system and the government, right?
Yeah.
Because
society.
it's just society in
yeah.
general. Things move so fast. Our attention spans are like this,
Getting worse, yeah.
and getting worse every
Way
day.
worse, yeah.
Man, I'd be I would like to think I could concentrate. And
Oh,
then there's
no,
sometimes where I'm
I'm
like,
fucked. My shit's terrible now.
man, I'm just bored.
Yeah.
Bored of
Instantly.
this. And it's kind of sad just to see what happens with these aspects. But we're not here to just talk about the sad stuff. We're here to talk about
fun stuff.
Black history and what are some of the things that make up Black history. So I went to my best friend. We have our friend Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I have my friend Wikipedia, and I did a little dabble, pulled up some more of the history and overview of Black History Month, and what exactly came to life from it. So, from your understanding, Tommy,
Yeah.
shooting the blank here, shooting in the dark here.
Mhm.
When do you think Black History Month started? Just take a random year, and when do you? Let's say.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to shoot your shot. Shoot your
I'm
shot.
gonna go the Reagan era. Maybe like the somewhere in the mid 80s. I feel like Reagan wanted to do something to trick black people into thinking that he liked them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair guess.
Yeah.
So
Seems like some Reagan shit.
So for starters,
Yeah.
for clarity here, Black history actually began, right? Or the origin started
Mhm.
when historian and author Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded the Association for Study of Negro Life and History
Okay.
in 1915.
Oh shit, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, what? I was like, time out.
Yeah.
It's been considered since then.
Yeah.
And with that, right, through this organization, he initiated the first Negro History Week in February 1926. So we went
So we
from
had
a
a week to a month.
to a month. We leveled up.
Okay. The fact that in 1926 we had history even then should tell you exactly the depth of what we've done in this country.
I mean, let's not get it started.
That we had a whole show and we didn't even cover most of it.
So, okay, why was February selected? Or why was the February originally
It's
selected?
the shortest month.
No. Why was the week? Because he only had a week.
Uh-huh.
Why do you pick February in particular? And actually, knowing this answer, it kind of makes sense.
No, I figured because he knew they probably wouldn't gripe about the shortest week of the year. Or the shortest month of the year.
Okay.
Am I right?
No. Dr. Woods selected the week in February because it included the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, two key figures in the history of Black Americans.
That makes sense.
So I was like, oh, well, that shortest month thing,
Just so happens.
just so happened to be
Yeah.
the case.
I didn't know Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln were born in the same month.
I didn't know that either, but
Wow.
I mean,
Interesting.
they keep Abraham Lincoln shit to just, he freed the slaves, move on.
He didn't like black people either.
Yeah, he was that great, but
He was not.
I mean, thank you for signing this
Yeah.
this thing in that a lot of people ignored for years.
No shit. Frederick Douglass was a G, but Abraham Lincoln overrated.
So, moving on up, right, we go ahead and we have that in 1929, the Journal of Negro History noted that, with only two exceptions, officials and state government departments of education of every state with considerable Negro population had made the event known to the state's teachers and distributed official literature associated with the event. So, after 3 years,
Mhm.
schools, they did their due diligence where there was a lot of black population. They should have and be learning Black History Week. Now, was it actually enforced? Lord knows it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I'm about to get into the time skip. But it's actually pretty cool to know that it started at the turn of the century, or at the start of the century from the 1900s.
What?
Yeah, 1915.
So what was the first official Black History Month?
month? Oh, Tommy, we're getting into that.
Okay.
So, time skip alert.
Yeah.
Black educators and Black United students at Kent State University first proposed Black History Month in February 1969. The first celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State a year later, from January 2nd to February 28th, 1970. So about 50 years.
Okay.
So
It's a surprise.
yeah, in 1970, and I'll get to the
What
president.
states refused to do it? Because I know there were.
Oh, well.
We could clear out the black belt because I already know all the southern states said fuck that.
So here's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that states weren't about it, right? It was more so that educators took it upon themselves to teach it, right?
Mhm.
Because 6 years later, Black History Month was being celebrated all across the country at educational institutions.
Mhm.
Therefore, they had pretty much hit the point to where a lot of teachers, students, and people who were in education were encouraging the conversation of Black history in general. Now, this was also around the time where, I'm blinking on the time period, but this would be not super long after desegregation. This would be not long after civil rights movements, right?
Yeah.
Because that was the 1950s, 1960s.
Mhm.
And so I'm assuming that it kind of caught like wildfire, mainly because we had just kind of gotten to the settling point of a lot of those things.
Yeah.
That said, you ready for this? President Ford was the one who issued a message on observance of Black history.
It's real close.
You were real close, but it was President Ford.
Well, people forget about it, that he even existed. So.
Man, he's in the camp of presidents that...
Well, I mean, was he a one-term, and no one gives a fuck about one term.
Hey, but I mean, he for the cause, so I got to shout out President Ford.
He kind of sucked, I thought. Carter was my guy. Yeah, Carter was my dude.
He brought...
I hope, you know.
He helped out a little bit.
Yeah, we put him in the same LBJ helped out, and you know that motherfucker was racist. He's my favorite racist president, by the way. He really is. Because his shit was almost Archie Bunker-like.
I didn't know we had favorite racist presidents.
Oh, he's the only one. Like all the rest, I can't. But him, I mean, he signed a lot of civil rights shit, so it was under a lot of pressure, granted. But yeah, you know. It's a fun little encounter. I mean, he was raised in a poor area with black people too, so it's kind of funny. This is like, I mean, you did what we needed you to do, so fuck you.
But see, Ford
named a lake after your wife.
Thank you, Josh Manforever. Ford apparently was the president because Nixon quit, right? So, you know, as he comes in, he's like, man, I got to get the people on my side. Which demographic can I pull in? Well, he decides that, you know, he urges all Americans to recognize the important contribution made to our nation's life and culture by Black citizens. He made sure that in 1976, ASALH, which was the Association for Study of African American Life and History, had expanded its commemoration to truly be a Black History Month instead of a week, which had also been known as African Americans History Month. In the same year, President Ford issued a message on the observance of Black History Month, and in subsequent years, presidents continued to urge the messages honoring Black history. So we went from the 1915s as being a thought and an interest, or the foundation of an association, to 1926, where it's actually Black History Week being established, to 1975 and 76, where Black History Month came into
70s sounds about right. Real popular in that decade.
Feelings, thoughts, contributions.
I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. I like the origin of it.
Pretty cool, right?
It's a cool little origin.
And I mean, it's crazy how like I agree. I think the month choice was just random.
Yeah, it so happened to be. Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a legit origin of it, though.
It's a legit origin, and it can take away that preconceived notion that we have the shortest month off of just happenstance. It just happened to be that way. A black man chose this month.
Yeah, so we will honor it for him.
And we got to honor it for him establishing it.
Can I give a fun little...
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, this is your time for your Black History fun fact.
Okay.
Let's go ahead with one.
We'll do one. I have another one. The other one's a bit of a downer, so we'll start
with the fun one.
Well, it's somewhat fun, but it ain't much fun in this time period. So, and this is going to be strange. On this Black History Month, I have to give a shout out to someone I know doesn't get a shout out on Black History because she's white.
Ooh.
Yeah, but she deserves it. And this is kind of in line with this whole CRT thing and, teaching how to treat Black people like people in school and how that's frowned upon in Florida. I got to stop with the fake quotations.
Yeah, I'm you're real happy with this.
I'm real happy.
He's really liking this.
But no, so Jane Elliott, a lot of people don't know about this. White teacher, got a job. I forget what year. I think it was either in the 50s or the 60s. I'll look up and let you know. But okay, there you go. The brown eye, blue eye experiment, which she wanted, her goal was to teach this in literally every single school across America. Like she legit broke it down to like, this may not cure racism completely, but it helps quite a bit. So basically what the blue eye, it's very controversial back then, especially today, it makes perfect fucking sense. But what she would do, she would separate the kids, the blue eye, green eyes would go on one side and the brown eyed kids, the other side. If you have brown eyes, you're likely, of color, but I don't think it was many kids of color in this school. Mm-hmm. So the thing was the brown eyed kids had special privileges, privilege. There you go. Blue eyed kids did not. in the classroom. So it became a thing to where the brown-eyed kids knew they had all the power. And so they started to treat the blue-eyed kids badly because it's just what happens, right? And basically she was like, okay, no, don't do that. Now she switched it. Blue-eyed kids had the power. Brown-eyed kids did not. Same thing. Power dynamic shifted. Blue-eyed kids were mean to the brown-eyed kids. She broke that down and was like, did any of you like how you felt when you weren't in power? And they were like, no, we didn't like that at all, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, okay, that's what it is. Like when you see black people, brown people, anyone who looks different, that's exactly what they feel like. So whenever you see them and you see them being treated badly, they feel the way you just felt. And they did a documentary on it and they interviewed those kids like 30 or 40 years later. And they all were like, she changed my life because I never forgot that lesson. And it was a dude who went on, he became a lawyer, and he specifically, he made a lot of money, but all his pro bono cases were for black people who were wrongfully, persecuted. No, yeah, kind of. He was kind of daredevil. I don't know his name.
I have Jane.
I know the doctor, the one you're talking about.
Jane Elliott.
Oh, Jane Elliott.
Can you look up Jane Elliott, Blue Eyed Girl Cries on YouTube? It's a quick clip. It's sweet.
Okay.
Because she tries to quit the experiment.
Yeah. It's a very interesting story, and I like advise people to look it up. But it was like, if it was in the end of the documentary, it was like, could you imagine if that was integrated actually into schools and the impact that probably would have had on young children growing up? And did you know about her before this?
Yeah. Real quick, I like this one. She. There's videos that you see on Twitter pop up occasionally.
Yeah.
And it was a blonde girl who walked up and left, and she's like, no, you don't get to quit the experiment. It's like, it's so unjust. And she's like, black people have to live with that every day.
Every single day.
It's glorious. So that's why
she's amazing.
I believe
that's
so,
her,
yeah.
White people look vicious and ugly and non-caring and cruel and arrogant and powerful and condescending and angry. Are you angry?
No.
Oh, good for you. Are you angry?
Trying not.
Trying not to be. Now, does that take a lot of energy?
Yes.
Yes. Are you holding it in?
Yes.
Yes. And are you trying really, really hard not to react to me?
Yes.
Yes. And are you trying really hard not to look at me?
Look at that brother in the back. look at that brother in the back. Right there.
He tried not to smoke.
He's like, we got one.
At the moment, yes.
Yes. Why?
Because I don't want to make myself more upset.
You don't want to make yourself more upset by looking at me.
Yes.
Right. Does that take a lot of time, a lot of energy?
Yes.
Yes. Is that hard for you?
Yes.
Could you develop an ulcer over this?
No.
If you had to do it every day, what would happen to your blood pressure?
It would rise.
Yeah. If somebody stood over you and you knew it was going to happen every day, or you expected it to happen every day, or it happened when you didn't expect it.
Yo, the black people covered the back.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't know where the fuck she came from, but yeah.
I gotta give her props.
Man,
she
legit,
pushing that uncomfort.
Dude, like, she's like maybe the only white person I could give, like, you need to kind of give her some credit.
No, this is
she
new
didn't
to
give
me.
a fuck, man. Like, she was like, no, this is what it is. And, like, that's what it feels like. She made them feel that way. That was her key. Like, you got to feel this shit to understand. And that was her main, as you see right there, her main thing, how she tapped in. You got to feel this shit. Feel it. And imagine feeling that for your entire fucking life. That's what it feels like.
And I mean, like, that's how you gotta do it.
That's how you have to do it.
That's how you have to.
That's how you have.
Because when like,
I
look,
assume she's dead now, R.I.P., but fuck, man, I love her. Like, she was great.
I don't know what clip you pulled. How long is that one?
I was like, a couple minutes.
4:42?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the girl you want. If you could skip ahead, the girl in the green shirt with the do-rag.
Oh, it's about to happen.
Oh, dear.
Okay. I'm sorry. I love that clip so much. It's just so.
That one was good.
The chef's kiss, I'm telling you. If you've never seen it.
It too, or it happened to your kids every day, after it happened to your mother every day. Now, getting right along, your hand is still up. You still didn't learn anything, did you? Didn't I just say when your hand is up, you are thinking of what you're going to say instead of what's being said? Didn't I just say?
Hold up. That's a bar. Yo, when your hand is up, you're thinking about what you're gonna say, and you're not listening. I'm like, damn, if I was in class and I heard that, I'd be like, shit, she right. She
real slow.
Hey, yo, that's a bar. But continue.
Say that?
Yes, you did.
And did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
And did you decide that you were just going to do it your way?
I was.
Wait a minute, you were on a roll there for a minute. Thank you very much.
Yes, I did.
Now, since you choose to not listen to others, what do you suppose we're going to do where you're concerned?
Not listen to me.
Thank you very much.
May I finish what I was saying,
No,
please?
because you're still thinking of what you're going to say instead of what I'm saying. Now, getting right along.
I heard what you were
Well,
saying.
you're doing it
I
again.
understand what you were
You're
saying.
doing it again.
I don't care.
You're doing it
because
again.
It's wrong.
You're
and you
doing it again.
Persecuted her for standing out.
You're doing it again.
Persecuted him for standing out. The only change that ever happens is when people stand out, and I have to stand back too.
Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. Are you in any physical danger here?
She said, shut the fuck up.
I need somebody with her energy now. Today in 2023. I need that energy today.
Hey, yo, time out. I gotta this is so relevant in 2023.
The fact no one talks about it makes me angry.
Because she got this little white girl out here tearing up.
Yeah. Having breakdowns.
Because she's getting oppressed. She's like, you ain't in danger here.
Yeah. Sit your ass down.
Oh, man.
She's great, man.
Are you in any physical danger here? Is that girl in any physical danger here?
Quite a walk.
Emmett Till was hanged by his neck after he was beaten almost to death, simply because he made a statement to a white woman. Every time I do the exercise there.
Now, that was a treat.
Yeah.
That's a great call out.
Yeah.
Man, I've never been made of.
Rakeem, you take that shit back. She would not. She would make Karens cry.
Oh, no, I think he meant the girl crying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was about to say, Rakeem, that doesn't seem like it. Oh, no, she's a Karen right now.
The way
Maybe not after that, but yeah.
She plainly stated facts.
Yeah. That's what she did.
She said dead ass. She was like, Emmett Till hung for this.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there. Oh, a lot of kids ain't comfortable.
Feel that. Yeah.
A lot of kids. Oh,
she was great, man. She was great. Yeah. And
they won't even let a teacher like this exist anymore.
I mean, she got fired for doing the brown eye, blue eye experiment. Like, that was a big, and then she became what you saw there. Like, she never stopped the mission. Like, her mission continued, but she couldn't do it in schools anymore. But that experiment would have changed this country.
I think that
it would have changed this country easily. Like, they interviewed every kid she had, and maybe one or two was like, I don't give a fuck about that. The majority of them were like, it changed my life. Like, it legit, like, it was brought to tears. Some of them, like, if I wouldn't have met that woman, where I was from, the parents I had, I would have been a racist piece of shit. And the thought of that makes me sick. Like, she changed them in that small amount of time with this experiment.
And I can imagine.
And again, forgotten history.
Not even forgotten, just not talked about.
Never talked about.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I sit here and I'm like, dude, just imagine. Like, that's because a lot of the times people will be like, hey, you shouldn't expose kids to these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like, they get that Band-Aid till second grade for me.
No shit. This world's going to teach them to them anyway.
And I'm like, dude, like.
Do they have the internet?
No, not even that. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Do they go to school?
I'm gonna keep it $150 with you. You know, this is shit that we have to hear.
Yeah.
Have to know from day one. Like, I didn't wait. My parents didn't wait till I was in kindergarten, first grade. My significant other was even thrown off by how, whenever we were first together, I was talking to my little nieces and nephews, my little cousins, because she was like, I'm talking to them about really adult things. Not like in a bad way. She was just like, I'm like, yeah, that's what I have to do.
Boys in the Hood when I was like 10. No, actually, whenever it came out, so I would have been like younger than that. I would be like 6. Like, it was just like, that's life. Like, that's what life is. That's a thing that I've noticed. And I don't know, I've noticed it's more prevalent now than it was back in the day, of certain groups of parents trying to shield their children from things. and they like hit it really hard. And that's the whole crux of this punk ass CRT argument of why you shouldn't teach kids to appreciate and respect others who are different than them, which is the point. The fucking point is that. That's the end game, is that.
It's also, why do we have this doubt that kids are that dumb?
They're smart as fuck now. They are smarter. This Gen Z they said they've skipped the awkward stage. Like they pretty much go from kids to young adults. It's no middle ground or evolution to it because of the world they live in. They are afraid to go to school. The adults in their life don't want to protect them, and they see that shit. So that's a hardened ass generation. And it's like they've seen far worse than their parents have fucking seen.
Shoot, I mean, and when it comes to, like, I put it like this, when it comes to the way, using a more different topic, same sort of tumultuousness, getting shot up in school wasn't that much of a, that wasn't something I thought about every fucking day.
I've discovered that, I learned not too long ago that LaGrange has metal detectors now, which blew my fucking mind.
I mean, it's smart.
Yeah, I would have them too.
I don't know why that isn't standard.
But I mean, I'm just talking about like old man back in my day.
No,
that would have been
in
insane.
Today's time.
Yeah,
I said,
it would have been fucking
standard.
insane. And you know, as it were now, yet they are afraid of their kids learning history. It doesn't add up to me. Doesn't make sense.
It's American schooling system and its flaws.
No, it's beyond flaws.
It is a flaw. No, it's not flaws. It is a flaw.
Yeah, it's one big flaw.
Because when I like it's real life for some people.
Yeah.
Like, we have always had the luxury of growing up in an environment to where we can pick and choose the history that gets told to us. And don't get it twisted, other countries definitely are selective when it comes to history.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Germany,
yeah, even Japan in some cases.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and granted, rightfully so, they don't. The bomb stuff is usually
yeah. It's a little much.
But when it comes to just why we are so fervently against it, we are historically underselling our youth and their ability to learn and have empathy and understanding, and what it can change whenever they grow up with that stuff in the back of their mind. Because there's just some shit, it's like, you don't forget. And that's that fundamental development age where those things can actually stick. By the time you're learning something in high school, you're learning something in college, let's be real here. If you really, really, really don't want to retain it,
you're not gonna.
Yeah. Whereas, like,
when you're young, it's just what it is.
It's why multiplication is like in the back of your head sometimes. Yeah. It's like how you know how to do basic functions. Morality should be also a basic function. If you're willing to take your kids, and
let's just say like learning a new language, they say it's easier, younger than it is older. Like I couldn't learn a new language now. I could, but it would be a lot harder than if I were younger. So it's very similar to that. When you bake this shit into people, it just is what it is. Yeah, treat people with respect, even if they're black. That should be baked into you because society's going to do otherwise. So when you have that in your head the entire time, all the rest of that shit is just brushes right past you to where, like the lawyer I described, to where it's like, no, when I was a kid, I learned how this feels. It's wrong. Just who I am now, and that's how you go.
I would do this brown eye, blue eye thing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
Wanna know why? Because it'd be like, it'd be a head turn every time. I'd be like, all right, brown guy kids. I would not even tell them what blue eye. It's coming, right? Just be like, hey, it's your week now.
Yep.
Gotta suffer. But thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for your addition, Mr. Gonzalez, for sharing.
I have a much darker one later, but yeah. But it's something that should be known.
That is like, oh, shoot. You think she ain't invited to the cookout? Come on.
Oh, yeah, she for sure
She's hosting.
She is hosting. It is no raisins in her potato salad. I can guarantee you that.
Josh, before we get into popping back into our timeline for Black History, Josh Medford had an interesting statement. It's like, do you think George Floyd
That's a very good question.
And you know, to be honest, just to show it for those who are not in the chat, to be honest, yes, actually, I do. I think it should be. I think it will.
I think it will too.
It will be a portion of
the
COVID section.
Yeah. The Trump era. Yeah.
It will.
that's a
I think it's
whole
one of
ass
those.
chapter.
Now, I would like it for it to not be the excerpt, the little picture with the commentary. At
But
the
you know
bottom.
it will be.
But I'm pretty sure it will.
We ain't writing the book, it will be.
But
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm hoping that it gets a full on,
To me, man, that if we didn't have such shitty ADD, that should have been the sparking of a whole second civil rights movement, honestly. And it looked like that's what it was.
There's too much negative shit.
But, Instagram, TikTok, you forget, you get back into your, and plus Trump just kept piling the fuck on one problem after another. So it was just like, yeah, but it's still prevalent. Like, it's still very important and people know. Like, it's one of those things that gets brought up instantly. It, kind of takes you back to, that entire, that happened, spring, summer?
Yeah, spring 2021.
Yep.
And I tell people, it's just, man, it should have.
Yeah, it should have.
I mean,
you had the
but this is
world
also things
protesting
that,
with you.
The whole situation with George Floyd was a thing that police brutality, that conversation.
Yeah.
Shoot, even Trek 2 was talking about it. And this is something that was talked about prevalently.
Yeah.
If you didn't know Shrek 2 talked about it?
I did not.
You did?
No.
Oh, man, hold up. I got you. And it was so crazy how I didn't. I'm just going to show you, actually. So crazy how prevalent this is. And there's certain portions you're going to be like, wow, they did that back then, huh?
Police brutality! Police brutality!
Oh, wow.
You see that?
I did.
Yep.
What is this?
That's Shrek 2.
That's in the movie?
That's in the movie. Right there.
What?
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Yeah, Shrek 2. Talk about police brutality. Man, they get everybody. They don't just get Donkey.
Well, that's the false part right there. They would never do that to White Shrek.
No, look.
Will they get away with it? Or did someone let the cat out of the bag?
You capitalist, big dog.
Yep, they would get puss.
They would get puss. And look what they do to him.
Of course.
Catnip. That's no mind.
They planted drugs on. That's about right.
They
totally see cops doing that.
They do that. I was surprised because I was like, oh my God, they really had
a little bit ahead of the curb there, huh?
They
well,
were
not ahead of the curb. That's what it was. Hell, it was a fucking Fresh Prince episode first season about police brutality. So yeah, and so not much has changed.
You would think that those are things that they're, that would kickstart and revolutionize. But alas, it happens so goddamn much, and we have ADHD that it
was a trend, and then remember the black square? Like it was a fucking trend, and that's.
I understand. I changed my Instagram profile.
Again, yeah, we talked about this a little bit on one of the other shows of after that, the white people around us and their reactions to us of just, I didn't know. Like I said, the word I heard the most was, I was in a bubble. Just didn't know.
Yeah.
Get out of the fucking bubble. Then how about that?
I'm telling you,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Technology.
After a while, it got old, and that's what I was like, get out of the fucking bubble. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, it is what it is. And I would, at first I would, talk to them about it, friends at least. And I'd tell them stories like the old man at Schlitterbahn who called me a nigga and knocked me off of his tube, Stories like that to where now I'm just like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, white people are racist as fuck. Like, that's life. That's what it is.
We find humor in it.
Yeah, what the fuck else we gonna do? And my God, it's just tears and like, so sorry. Like you shouldn't have had to go through. Look what I fucking did. What were you? So yeah, it doesn't fucking matter now, does it? How about you take that feeling, keep it, remember it, and go to the future? How about that? If you can retain that feeling, take it and be better. But I don't know if you can retain it. Personally, I don't. Prove me wrong. That's where I was at the end of all that.
I mean, it's true.
It's true.
It had me.
All the protests
the amount of
people went to and all this shit is like, where are you now? Like,
shoot.
See, look what's happening in Florida. Where the fuck are you?
Dude, let's not even talk about, what is it, diversity in organizations used to be such a conversation point over the course of COVID. Let a bunch of different D&I people are getting fired from organizations in tech.
Yeah.
Because guess what? But, going on to turning it back to a page.
Yeah, we're trying
Black
to be
history.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 1986, Congress passed Public Law 99-244, which designated February 1986 as National Black Afro-American History Month. The law noted that on February 1st, 1986 would mark the beginning of the 16th annual public and private salute to Black history. The law further directed the president to issue a proclamation calling the people of the United States to observe February 1986 as Black History Month with the appropriate ceremonies and activities. President Reagan issued Presidential Proclamation 5443, which proclaimed that the foremost purpose of Black History Month is to make all Americans aware of this struggle for freedom and equal opportunity. So yes, Reagan was in there. It did sprinkle some of his effects.
Yeah, of course. Of course he did.
So he did try and add that flavor, but
as bad of an actor as people said he was.
Hey, you know what? Seems like while it was catching up wind in 1975, it got even more in depth in 1986. And it took about 10 years to really get entrenched, but they counted it in 1986 as like the 16th. So really they said 1970 is the starting point, but really it was signed in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since 1996, presidents have issued annual proclamations for National Black History Month. In 1996, President Clinton issued the Presidential Proclamation 686-3, the National African American History Month. And it emphasized the theme of achievements of Black history. Yada, yada, yada. Go on to say presidents after that really had to make it a focus point. Yeah. So, Black history in and of itself has a pretty cool history tracking behind it. And there's a lot of presidents who actually ended up having turning hands. So it wasn't just one. I would say I would give it to Ford more so than Reagan.
Right.
Mainly because Ford really did sign it into play, kind of.
Yeah, it's
but
one.
No,
yeah,
I think it's both of them.
But it's like yeah.
But it was kind of like an alley-oop. Set up for success for someone else to dunk it.
Right.
And then there was someone who must have been in between Ford and Reagan, and they didn't do shit. So, no, I don't think they cared.
No, I don't think so.
But it's really, it's fascinating because, as we mentioned, right, I think a lot of people talk about Black history, but they don't talk about the history of Black history.
Right.
And all the people who had hands into making it important. And thanks to those things, it is interesting to think that, hey, Black history is important in the U.S.
I believe so.
But what about other countries, Tommy? Have you ever dabbled your feet into Black history for other countries?
I have not.
You thought this history lesson would just stop at the United States?
No.
What are you talking about?
It's not American Black History Month. It's just Black History Month.
Nah, we got
around the world.
Now, thanks to, like I said, our friend Wikipedia, we have some fun facts on how Black history is handled across the world. So, in the UK, Black history was first celebrated in 1987. The year 1987 recognized the African Jubilee. Coincidentally, the year of the 150th anniversary of Caribbean emancipation. The ceremony had the birth of Marcus Garvey and the 25th anniversary of the Organization of African Unity, an institution dedicated to advancing the progress of African states. Huh. Black History Month in the UK was organized.
They have one?
Yes, I said the UK. This is all about the UK.
Oh.
Get out.
No, but this is for a reason. Go ahead.
I was like, nah. Black History Month in the UK was organized through the leadership of,
Granville T. Woods.
No.
Okay.
even though he really started.
He made his way over there.
Oh my God, I suck at this country's pronunciation. Ghanaian.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God. Your Adobe Flash Player end of life popped up. Get it off my screen. But analyst, I'm not even gonna look at that. Look at that right there.
Hold on, I need my glasses.
I'm not even gonna try.
Let's see what we got. Well, put the mouse on it. Oh.
Yeah, see, I
no, I don't want to.
It's not because we don't want to try. It's just it seems like a beautiful name. We don't want to mess it up. But AAS, as abbreviation, who served as a coordinator for special projects in Greater London Council. Long story short, some institutions face criticism for supporting Black History Month images of people from Black, British, Asian backgrounds, using the term Black to refer as political Blackness encompassing all people of color.
Yeah.
But 1987 seems like that's when it really came into effect in the UK.
Took a while.
It took a while. I mean, but in comparison, let's be real here. It'll get funny at the end.
Okay.
Canada, 1995.
They have one?
They do have one. Representing Canada defines the festivity of an opportunity to celebrate.
Is Drake a part of it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know many black
Drake didn't
Canadians.
even turn up to his son at first, so like I don't think he wants to show
Drake,
up to
Drake and Tory Lanez is all I got.
Oh man,
that's a not too good representation of black people in Canada.
I like Drake. If I met him in person, I'd say that, but I do like him.
He's all right, I guess.
You acting like you wouldn't be cool to meet Drake in person.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be geeked, but it'd be pretty cool.
It's like, oh, Drake's here.
That's a lie.
About it.
That's a lie. He hates black excellence.
He's from Canada. Let's stop that shit. Can we cut a line here? Can we just rep black? Shout out to Black UK, by the way. But can we get what? Look, this is gonna sound terrible. I love the bruh thing. I do love the Idris Elba's cool. Oh, excellent.
I wish I could use Mondem.
Top Boy is an excellent show, but but yeah, no, Black Canada. I need more here. What we got for Black Canada? Because Tory Lanez and Drake cannot be all you have. For the love of God, they cannot be all you have.
I don't think so.
We'll move on from Canada. What else we got?
I don't think they got much. I ain't gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
But in 1995, after a motion by politician Jean Augustus, representing the House of Commons officially recognized February as the Black History Month. In 2008, Senator Donald Oliver moved the Senate officially to recognize Black History Month, which it unanimously approved. Achievements and contributions to Black Canadians and their communities who have done so much for Canada to deliver cultural, diverse, compassionate, and prosperous country. Republic of Ireland.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Ireland, Easel took notes here. We're almost done. We got two more.
Huh.
Republic of Ireland. The Black History Month. Ireland was initiated in Cork in 2010. This location seems particularly appropriate as in the 19th century, the city was a leading center of abolition, and the male and female anti-slavery societies welcomed several Black abolitionists to lecture there. So 2010 got kicked off.
Okay.
France. Black History Month was first organized in 2018 in Bordeaux. Since then, there have been celebrations in Paris, Guadeloupe, La Roche, and I'm not even going to try with half these countries' names. There's a lot. 2022, the month was dedicated to Josephine Baker, a dancer and member of the French Resistance during World War II.
Very
born in
interesting.
Born in the United States.
She was. She was famous here, and yeah, she ran off to France when shit got dicey here, and don't blame her for that. And yeah, like she's super interesting. So if you don't know about Josephine Baker, definitely look up.
We got so much fun topics we can go into. Yeah. But you know who's really helping out Black History Month? It's actually Keon Leon with another dono and gifted a tier to Sea Green SMI, which is real cool. Thanks, Keon. Like you're always gonna. I feel like you always lead the pack, so we really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
Last but not least, can you guess the last region or area I'll be talking about?
Black history. Would be Africa.
Oh, someone was paying attention.
Yeah.
Africa.
It's the only one that makes sense.
In 2020, Black History Month was celebrated in 7 African countries for the first time. Participating countries were Benin, Burkina Faso, Chad, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Senegal, and Cameroon. The event was initiated and organized by Africa Mondo, founded by Melina Seymour. And from 2021 onwards, African History Month was celebrated in March.
Nice.
So now, granted,
should be a year.
Yeah, Black. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Black history.
We can do whatever we want there.
I feel like in Africa, they're just kind of like
Black History Life.
Yeah, it's every day,
every single day.
We didn't throw away our history.
Yeah,
but it's cool to hear just some of these. I mean, to be honest, shout out to Ireland. Wasn't expecting that.
Irish people. I mean, I know it's some racist ones there, obviously, but you go there. I've heard great things about Black people who have been to Ireland. I know too, and they said it was one of their best vacations. I know you've been.
I've not been to Ireland.
Okay.
But I probably would love
it. I don't think I need to go with my thing with redheads. I should probably.
That's exactly why I've avoided it.
Because the accents get me too. I can't do that. That's not a place for me.
I don't think you could just go to Europe, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it'd be rough.
Yeah,
it'd be rough.
You chose.
Europe's a rough place.
Good luck to you, man. But I
could do France. I don't have, French women. Oh, they're beautiful, but I'm okay.
I've been to France.
Yeah.
You can't.
All right. Well.
But no, seriously, it's really cool that beyond just the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
There's also plenty of other regions of the world, areas of the world that are celebrating it. Now, granted, I do think that there's still some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see an Asian country on this list.
I would too.
I don't know if a lot of black people do things there, but
just the fact of like, hey, black people, sure, let's celebrate something.
Just let's celebrate them.
Yeah.
And in the same vein, I hope that more countries just celebrate other cultures in general, because I think when you have cultural centers, I think it's important in the United States, UK, some of those cultural hubs. But I think these other countries, like, it gives a chance to showcase how other people may look across the world, right? And so you might go somewhere, let's use China as an example. There's a lot of places in China where you probably would not see an African-American person, but you have a short little, it doesn't have to be a month, a little bit of a week, some time to show, hey, there's black people in the world and they do some cool things.
Yeah, we're scattered everywhere.
And it makes it matter. But, at the very least, Korea, you owe us one.
They did.
Not because of the reason that you think it is.
That's what I thought.
No.
What do we have?
Have you seen? Koreans are very urban. K-rap is a thing. Korean.
They make them. Goddamn, they really did just kind of take a lot of our shit and really, But the thing is, they maintaining though. They're not making the shit look bad. Korean fried chicken, we've talked about it. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Delicious. Best chicken.
They can dance their asses off, TJ.
No, they took it and evolved. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, like,
give us a shout out.
Got that too. Fashion, just the rap, they're just, we can't say nothing. We don't call it appropriation when they do it, because they do it proper and they do it right.
They do it cool.
And we like, all right, y'all got it.
Y'all got us. Y'all got it.
Yeah. You good.
And I'm like,
nobody else though.
I'm still down for this black-yellow treaty, South Korea.
What was the
as foreign exchange?
called?
South Korea.
No, Mega Africa Korea.
Yeah, Mega Africa Korea. I'm telling you.
We need to make a manga.
Foreign exchange program.
Yeah.
So, in your 11th year of school, so your 11th grade.
Right.
You just have to go spend a year in Korea. A lot of Korean kids get to come here.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I wouldn't mind that.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that.
That would have been great.
Korea's pretty cool. South Korea seems like
I want to
really
go
cool
to South Korea. It's on my list.
One of my homies literally can't, but I'll talk about that off air.
Oh.
No, like he's from Korea and is like,
oh, okay.
But when it comes to Black history and it comes to the different aspects about it, I wanted to spin it around and talk about the history of the month, because yeah, we could sit here and talk about MLK, and there was a show that we're supposed to do about eventually get to activism and that. And we, Martin King, like all of the major highlights.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for our first real, this is our first real like Black History Month show.
Right.
I wanted to set the flag down for establishing, hey, we learn more about Black history, not just here, but around the world. Now, you had one more fun fact that wasn't
fun.
But you wanted to share.
So I was trying to really get in depth because I heard the story and I tried to find it, and it's one of those super buried fucking Black history things. And even Googling it, it's not easy to find. But so I call this period the Great Renege. Renege. That's what. Yeah. The Great Renege in this country.
I had to make sure.
Not renege.
That's renege.
Renege. Yeah. But the Great Renege in this country that no one talks about. So one of my favorite, not really favorite, but most interesting times for me is Reconstruction. Like, to me, that's one of the most. And that's after
really cool.
The Civil War. It's a weird fucking time for America. Bizarre as fuck. And so Black people are free. and white people have no fucking clue what the fuck. Like they're lost at the moment. And so
they
like,
have to do the work themselves.
So they're like, okay, they're free, so they can do everything we can do. Like it was like that. And black people like, yeah, that's what the thing said. So let's become congressmen. Let's have towns. Let's build our own shit. Let's do this, that, and the other. So black people, a lot of black congressmen were around in the 1800s, post-slavery. Like it was a few. Texas had one of the first black congressmen. And I have no names. I'm so sorry. Again, I should know
sorry,
this
I'm
shit.
just.
But
I feel like a deer in headlights.
It's
with
fascinating, man. Like we had businesses, we had the whole nine. And then one day, it dawned on one of them, like, we can't let these motherfuckers have any of this. So laws started to come out where we couldn't be congressmen and senators. And all the congressmen and senators were stripped. And like, you're gone. So goodbye. So that was gone. The businesses they took. Look at Black Wall Street, things like that. Like it was, that was just an outlier. That happened, years later, a very long time after slavery ended. That was in the 1900s, yes?
Yeah.
Exactly right. So like, it was a period where we literally had it. Slaves, former slaves had it. We're free. We can do that stuff. We can own businesses. We can have our land. We can do all of that, right?
They were wearing the, if you ever see images of African-American individuals who have the white hair thing on, it's coming from this period.
That's that period. Very small period of time. They stripped it. The laws they came up with completely stripped us from ownership. We can own anything. It was a law, essentially. Of course, worded in the way politicians will word it. The essential of it, we can't own things. So anything we did own got taken away. So what is left? Sharecropping became the biggest thing. It was like, well, fuck, we don't have anything. We have to go back to essentially where we came from, or to a different plantation or some white-owned thing. And so we were literally, there's a time period. Anyone who says systemic racism isn't the thing, address this time period to them, where we were stripped. It was a period stripped. They didn't know what to do. It dawned on them, we damn sure can't let these black people have shit. They didn't call us black people. You know what they called us. Can't let them have it. And they orchestrated the shit through law to strip us, to knock us down. Anti-voting. We couldn't vote. Made it illegal for us to vote.
Of course.
Things like that. There was a time we could, and guess what we did? We elected black senators and congressmen in our districts. Had to end that. There's a period in our history in America. They talk about zero. It is that period. So if any white person, any person who asks you, like, what's systemic racism? It's not a thing. Just point to that one thing, because that's the one period where research that period, and it'll open your eyes quite a bit to how night and day it was. How day one we have shit, day two we don't. It was that quick. Like it wasn't a thing to where it took time for this to happen. No. It was a very short period of time for them to realize if we let them have it, they will surpass us. That was the fear, or they will take what we already had. That was always the fear, which is why slavery was a thing in the first place. But they realized it, they stripped it, and that to me is it made me cry when I learned that. It was like, fuck, are you fucking serious? How did I not know this? And how does no one talk about that? That period in time, that little window in time in American history that really explains it all. It really sums it all up right there. From that point, from slavery to where we are now, that little window says so much about America and the shit they don't want to teach you. Like, they don't want to teach you that because it's anti-American. No, America sucks. I'm sorry, people. I'm not anti-American. I'm here. I live here. I was born here. I was raised here. I'm American. True blue. That's what I am.
You're not wearing your red and white.
I'm not wearing the thong either. The flag thong. I can't do it. But the thing is, America is not for us what it is for white people. It just isn't. Like I tell this, no, never has been. And it'll get you looks because I don't celebrate 4th of July. Fuck 4th of July.
I've never.
That's not our holiday.
Man.
We weren't. Our ancestors wasn't free in 1776. No. Our shit was just beginning. So why would I celebrate that? I'm not celebrating that shit, but it pisses a lot of people off. Like Colin Kaepernick kneeling pissed a lot of people off. It's anti-American. DeSantis with his bitch ass, with his whole stripping away black history. It's anti-American. That's becoming the new thing. Anything that teaches truth about black people is becoming anti-American, and that's a scary fucking thing. So, yeah, that woke bullshit, which, take the word. Yeah, like, take the fucking word. It's a stupid fucking word. I thought it was stupid as fuck to begin with. You're taking it and running with it, and you're scaring a shitload of old, insignificant white people also. So the thing about it is, it's the truth. Do we want truth, or do we just want fake? Do we want to know what our history was so we don't repeat it? Or do you just want to lie and make up a completely new one? Because
lie!
As we've learned, TJ, it is damn easy to make up a completely new history or to scrub things from history.
Lie,
and to
lie,
me,
lie,
that's
lie. Lie!
He's gonna lie his ass off. You know?
Exactly what
and
they want us to do.
that's what they're planting the seed for. But to me, it was like, I was asked the question one time, like, prove that systemic racism is real. And at the time, I just broke down the common shit, like the laws and the this and the that's, all factual. But they were like, no, that's all whatever. Like, what is the one period in time, yada, yada. And I hate that I discovered it after the fact. This is that one period in time to where if you have to simplify it, that's how you simplify it. We were congressmen at one point, and then we weren't, and we couldn't vote. We couldn't even vote. So what happened from that point to that point? Can you explain that to me, person? Not racism. Can't be racism. So why did you do that? How does that a thing?
Not the way it works.
Yeah.
Because
like, it's crazy, huh?
The things they can't explain get erased.
Yeah.
And I mean,
the thing.
You know, one thing.
Well said. Yeah.
One thing that Josh Man Forever brought up, I want to make sure we highlight that. You know, had mentioned that it's a big reason why, you know, even to this day, prisoners don't have rights to vote, and
slavery is still a thing in prisons. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and for
who's the most race? I mean, what race is mostly in prisons?
Doesn't matter what race. It matters that there's so many minorities, huh?
Yeah.
That are just there.
Yeah, brown and black people.
I know a lot of
full
black
of
people
brown
there,
and black people. Yeah.
But it's like, what I mean by that is a lot of voices they don't want to have in the room when time comes.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is really when you think of a vote, what part of it is going to send someone else back to jail? Right. What? So what's the benefit of taking away a prisoner's right to vote for anything? Because it's if I'm not mistaken, if you're a felon, you can't vote.
Can't vote. It's illegal.
You could be like, hey, you know what? I went to prison for theft. Something like that. I spent a year in prison.
Right.
I'm a felon.
Right.
No longer able to vote.
Can't
What
vote.
does that correlation?
That cracks a whole different.
We're not touching drugs
we ain't
today.
touching that one, but yes, very much so. Do you remember? Yeah. No, man. It's a system. Like it's the. I mean, I can make a pie chart if you want. Like it's a whole thing, man. To where you can't vote. Why? Because the system screwed you over, and I highly doubt you would vote for the people who fucked you over. Hey, and look, they still to this fucking day they're trying to suppress our vote. To this day. They're trying to actively, very actively. The no voting on Sundays. It's a law you can't give people water in long ass lines. If you're familiar with Houston as I am, it was like 2 voting stations in the entire city of Houston because Houston's a minority city. Like it's nothing but black people, Asian, Mexican. That's the majority in Houston.
And they make the system so difficult to vote.
Did you hear the new law?
Which one?
So Gen Z came out in droves to vote this midterm.
Yeah.
So Abbott made it illegal to vote for polling stations to be put up on college campuses.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyone who votes against them, they will actively make laws because that's their weapon. Gotta stop doing that. That's the way. Stop me, man. That's what you're here for.
I'm kind of mesmerized.
Get
at
like
this
a
point.
spritzer.
Like you're a cat? No, Tommy.
No quotations. But it's so. But they don't even hide it anymore, man. Like it's just in the fact that things like this go on, the fact that they actively say we're not going to teach black history. And that's just okay. And nobody and I give it up to Gen Z because they see through the bullshit because they were born into bullshit. So
the one thing
their bullshit meat is off the charts.
The one thing I'll give Gen Z, and don't worry.
And they do try to learn some things that people don't want them to learn.
Gen Z, we got beef. Y'all still stupid in some cases.
They're dangerous. That's a dangerous fucking generation.
But what I will say is when they want to do something,
they do it.
They do it.
They
find a way to do it.
And then they will make fun of you for not letting them do it.
And then crush you dreams and tell you you're dumb. And spit in your coffee. I don't know. but no, yep.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's true.
It's accurate.
Don't make me start. Yeah, maybe we should come in.
The prison system's a whole other thing, man.
We will wear. We'll both wear glasses that day. We'll have charts, dynamic boards,
PowerPoint.
We'll have calculations. So if Tommy carries the 0, what's up? Yes. No bean pies.
No bean pies.
Be quiet. You said bean pie. But no. When it comes to that day, we'll have learn with the Blaxcellence, the education special.
There you go.
This number and this number means we're screwed. But it's systems, like you had mentioned before, that are designed to keep us in place and to only give power to the people who have the ability to, it's a matter of there is. When it comes to the dynamicism of how voting and a lot of these aspects work, right? The socioeconomic balance that comes with that is basically they're saying, hey, you have to be in this level of wealth in order to have access to a lot of these things because they assume you need especially in Texas where a car is mandatory. Yeah. And some people don't have that, right?
Right.
Or they have to go to work on a bus. It's like they make it really inconvenient to access those things with people who don't have the luxury of the two most difficult things that you can get. The luxury of time and the luxury of wealth.
Yep.
If you don't, let's say you don't have the luxury of wealth, that means you need to have the luxury of time. And a lot of the times you don't have the luxury of time because you're needing to gather that wealth.
Yeah.
So now
essentially, if you're working all goddamn day,
you ain't got no hope.
No hope. You ain't got time to vote and shit. You know?
Shoot.
It's one voting spot in my neighborhood. In the hood, and I have to work here. So you've closed the polling stations now, so I get off of work. You close them at 5. I get off at 5. Why is that?
No, Tommy. I mean, think about
shit
it this
like
way.
that.
Think about it this way, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to even medicine, right?
Oh God, man. We could talk about the healthcare with black people. We could talk about housing with black people.
We talk about every aspect. Because I'm like, when you look at an actual doctor's office, 9 times out of 10, it is a 9 to 6.
Yep.
If you are in 9 to 6, no weekends.
Nope.
So if you're working, usually, hey, if me and you, blessed, so if me and you want to go and take to a doctor's office, basically have to be like, hey, tell my manager right quick, I'm going to be gone for that.
That day.
Not even tell him. Be like, hey,
I got something to do. Yeah.
I got something to do. Have a block on my calendar.
Exactly.
How many actually have?
Not many. Not many at all. And they know that.
And systems.
They know it and they use it against them so they cannot do the one right every single American has.
And it's crazy because.
Am I not just as much of an American as someone who lives in fucking Westlake?
No.
Is someone in Runberg any different than anyone who lives up in the fucking hills and shit?
No.
No. Last I checked, both human, both American, both have the same right. So why the fuck are you actively making it difficult for them and you're not actively making it difficult for the people who obviously, because tax breaks, that one is quotations.
I didn't call that one. That was a real quotation.
Tax breaks, not, I don't want the colors around here. Those people can vote all day long, right? Yeah, they got 18 polling stations, 3 on the same block.
It's even
crazy how that happens, right?
When it comes to real estate aspects.
Oh man, that one depresses me. Can we skip that one for another day? That one depresses me.
I'm just gonna make a quick mention.
Okay.
Right? They have a lot. Don't get twisted. There's a lot of programs that are coming about to help and support you getting home loans. But a lot of the communities that you have to get a home in are primarily what?
Oh, black, because we got to keep them together.
So it's not even a matter of, hey, because I'm black, I want to shoot for the stars. I want to get a home loan for a neighborhood. It's on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, time
Easy
out.
there, guy.
Now you got to go through. Whoa, now you got to go through so many different loops and downs just to
instantly harder, right?
It's like, oh, time out.
To me, racism.
Oh, it's on your income.
Yeah.
Only your income.
Only
That's
yours
only,
now.
time out. You might be living with a couple other people, but it's only yours.
You know what racism is the most prevalent? Still, if you want to know the gauge of what racism actually is, boiled down, no bullshit anywhere involved in it. Porn, as we talked about.
We have talked about.
Yeah, which we won't talk about it here, but super racist, very much still, but that's what people think. That's what's in people's heads very clearly, because it's there. It's on Pornhub, on Xham. Like, that's where it's at.
I would really like to see racist porn history.
Hey, well, that's what this show is for. And real estate. Porn and real estate is where you can see exactly what racism is right here, right now. Because, yes, all that you just said, accurate as fuck. They will do everything in their power to keep you out of a white neighborhood. And also, if you just so happen to have a house in a white neighborhood that you're trying to sell, but get those goddamn pictures out of it, because it literally drops the value of the house. A picture of a black family, like 100,000 almost. A picture of a black family lowers the value of your house.
And it's not even like minor. It's
significant as fuck.
And it's not a one time, a two time. It's
happens over and over. Ask any realtor, and if they're cool, they will absolutely tell you the truth. And like, yep, that's exactly how the fuck it is. Very prevalent. No one talks about that though. Racism, hey, that's the only way out, TJ. Like, get the fuck out of here. Because you know where you really hit people hard? My home, my safety. That's my safety. Home is safety, right? So your colors really show when it comes to someone in your area that you don't feel safe around.
Well, Tommy, 100%.
Yeah.
Look, there will be a show. So if there's subjects that are near and dear to my heart, and this is me speaking as earnestly as possible to you guys, so you're getting no jokes, no laughs. Black wealth and development of true generational but also sustainable wealth is something that, I mean,
generational wealth is key. Really emphasize that, because that's the part that I don't think people get. Is that had we not been stifled back when I told you in that window that I told you about, we would have generational wealth.
It's not even that. I think a lot of people, and yes, it's not even just that. Yeah, I think it's also the thought process of, oh, great, I have to do something outlandish just to make money. Yeah. Whereas, I mean, look, these guys, Tommy's seen it, Sammy can speak to it. He talked about it. They like this is coming from someone who I've worked my way up, seen what it's like on both ends of the stick. I've done my best to study these aspects because black wealth is so important and the limitations that are constantly put on it are crazy.
Right.
Let's not even talk about how we're tricked into fucking black people are told credit's so evil and it's the only way you can own a fucking home or actually qualify for a car.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about how when it comes to investing that they don't tell you that it really only takes about, a couple of minutes, your ID, and you can have a stock portfolio.
Easy. Roth IRAs.
They don't talk about how, if you were to put in $100 now and you wait a few years, that money can turn and compound on itself due to compound interest. They don't tell you about so many of these different little aspects that people who suffer through melanin deficiency just happen to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it aggravates me. Real estate
aggravates me a great deal.
Gets under my skin. But black.
No, you saw I didn't want it. That one bothers me.
No. So when we get to that point, when I have the heart to talk about black wealth,
that's a whole thing, man.
Because man, they really and it's not, and what's crazy is black wealth isn't just something that they school and because trust me, this is where minorities who even immigrate are tricked into too, where it's like, hey, I have to work as hard as I can in order
break my back
in order to get to the dreams.
That's it.
And it's a matter of
you work hard, you get the American dream.
Oh, you know,
the greatest con ever told.
Because it's like, no.
Fucking grift. Like, no,
You
that's not
work
how this
smart.
shit works. You work your ass off and almost die to make that motherfucker rich. That's why you're here.
And I literally preach it. I'm like, for me personally, I don't want to be 50 and 60 when my wealth hits.
Yeah.
I'm not building
You want to retire.
yeah. Not building up a generational wealth so my generations can just enjoy it. I want to enjoy that shit.
Oh, fuck the generation. I say if I ever have a kid, that motherfucker's broke. If I'm rich, even if I'm rich, he's broke. Or they're broke. Like, I earn this. Earn your own shit.
I'm going to give you the tools to success, but that trust fund's going to be
That's
tight.
it. I'll teach you the ways, but
That trust fund's going to be tight.
yeah, I'm taking a vacation on your trust fund. Fuck you.
Yes. But it's a matter
Care
of
if you have my genes or not.
if you got my genes, and you can have success too.
There you go.
But no, that's my whole thing. Where it's like, it's crazy. My mom doesn't ask for a bunch.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Right.
I mean, because she makes her own, but
same here. Yeah.
It's also a matter of like, she built me up to a place to where I can build off this next step. And now, if I trip and fall, she's always gonna catch me.
Right.
It's not like that. But I don't want to enjoy my wealth when I'm that age. I want to get to 30. I want to get to 35. I want to get to 40 and coasting.
Yeah.
Because you want to know what the biggest killer of people is. It's stress.
Yep.
That's why I feel I feel like men die early because stress.
Because they work themselves to nothing.
And their genes deteriorate.
Yeah, we ain't got the best ones, but facially we do. Physically we do, black don't crack, all that good stuff.
We have
but
extra bones.
Like I said, yeah, got that extra spur in the back. Extra bone in the ankle. Stupid shit is that?
Transformer.
Oh, God.
I'm switching to my black body.
Dude, let's not even talk about black people in the medicine. And
no, dude, there's some shit that
there are
we don't.
legit doctors who believe black people do are stronger and can handle things more.
I mean,
they're actual. They did a study in a medical school and asked actual med students, are black people physically stronger than white people, and can they handle more, injury, stress, sickness? Yes, it was like 58% thought that was the truth.
Let me help y'all out real quick. The only thing that black has any benefit on is heat resistance.
We could still get sunburned.
And we can still get sunburned. But no, Tommy.
It's insane.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation.
Yeah.
Hope you had a fun time.
I did. I love dropping those little tidbits.
Of course, man. And I like letting you do that.
I advise people, look a lot of this shit up, man. It is a wormhole of just interesting fact you didn't know.
And I love giving you the space to.
You did
just let you go on because sometimes, hey, you know what? There's some episodes where I get my monologue on.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I know how much you like fun facts.
Yeah.
So I knew that you'd have something great.
I did. Yeah. And especially with Black history, that's a
There's
soft
so
spot.
much.
And yeah, I apologize for the phone thing. I was trying to find
No. I knew I was literally giving you shit.
Yeah, because I believe, and goddamn it, I don't even want to tell the story that much because that's what I was looking for. But it was the story of a black congressman or representative who was literally beaten damn near to death by other congressmen in the fucking Senate, basically, actually there. And no one talks about that shit whatsoever.
We will talk about
the
painful, not so fun topics one of these days. Black history is important.
It's important. And look, man,
American
honest
history.
to God, I want the masses, I want every race in this country to learn about Black history. But honestly, Black people learn your history. Black Americans specifically, learn your fucking history.
You know what? We have been sitting here and saying, we've talked about white people, talked about all those other black people, because we do it to ourselves.
We do. Same rules apply.
Same rules apply.
Same rules. You know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Do not let ignorance be your excuse for why you don't know truth, don't know values. You have to seek it, you have to want it, you have to learn it. And I'm not talking about that textbook shit. Do it on your free time.
Yeah.
Understand why this.
Plenty of TikTok channels that have some Black history on it, you know?
And I think that even to a bigger extent, one thing that always irks me is that if more Black youth, if more Black, from our generations, individuals were to learn about, I can only speak about one that I'm super passionate about, but Black and generational wealth and establishing those aspects, they'd realize why they don't just have the option of rapper, athlete, something that gets so much shine as being their way out.
Yeah. Plenty of other ways.
Textbook and some proper knowledge. And guess what? Instead of you spending 9 to 5 in fucking prison, that 9 to 5 can be while you're generating compound interest and wealth.
Yeah, very true. But more than entertainment. You are great minds.
We can dance and read.
It's tough. Very true. Yeah, no, we are more than that. We are not a monolith. We are all different. We love different things. We have different fascinations. And a lot of us are fucking brilliant. Don't ever think you're not. Do your shit and be proud of your people and represent well. And
Yo, super fan. It's like people like you and people who are willing to listen, willing to have the conversation, willing to sit here and chat with us for 2 hours and 16 minutes. Yeah. Guys, this is where we can brew and have genuine conversations where it's not like, hey, we're not preaching to you.
No.
We're just sharing knowledge.
Listen, if you didn't like Black people coming into this shit, I don't care. What we were trying to do here. Fuck you. Hey.
You can't convert.
No, I ain't trying to. If you are a racist piece of shit when you woke up this morning, you will go to sleep tonight a racist piece of shit. I ain't going to change that. That's just who you are.
But maybe we could.
Nah, I'm not going to try. That's not where I'm putting my energy.
I'm kidding. Can't change anybody.
Put my energy to my people like Josh, man, and Goliath and Rakeem, and
Kel Leons and all our awesome fans that are here today. And so thank you guys so damn much.
We love you.
We love y'all.
Welcome, medics.
I'm not going anywhere for a little bit, so expect a Blaxcellence very, very soon. I will not be tired from my new job.
He is going to be too tired for. Yeah, you will. It's going to be a lot of naps.
Gonna be a lot of naps, but I promise that we'll have Blaxcellence within the next couple weeks. This one was, I wouldn't even say it was not fun, but we like to go from serious to.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, especially for some of the topics we talk about, especially I feel like we've done well with it.
Yeah, we balanced that line.
Yeah, because this could be a very depressing show.
This can be very depressing. Yeah. But you know what, y'all? If you want to listen to more Blaxcellence, well, you can get that on. Oh, damn it. The Commitment of Blaxcellence. The one, shut up. Wrong show.
Oh, that's whole season. I would have given.
But if you want to see more Blaxcellence content, if you want to see more Blaxcellence anything, you can go ahead and hit us up on any of the Maxcellence social media platforms. Alongside, really, y'all guys, we love to see the support on Twitch. Go check out and share some of our post-created content off of our YouTube. It really does mean a lot. And we also get to have some more snippets there.
Yeah, thank you, Serenity.
If you guys, thank you guys so much. Yeah. And if you guys have any topics or things you want to hear us discuss, well, Blaxcellence is primarily picked topics by me and that guy over there. Yeah. So we're always open to ideas and feedback.
Yeah. Hit us up.
And because there's so much. There's so much Black stuff.
It's a lot of Black stuff. And Florida doesn't talk about it. So nobody has to.
We have to be your teacher. But lo and behold, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And I can't pull out the outro, which is the same as the intro. But I exited out of it. My bad. So, but no, love y'all guys. Please check us out. We'll be back. Oh, last shout out. We'll be back Thursday with... Hey, you know what? We're all about allyship with Masi Menos. And what are you guys talking about?
We're doing a crossover? What are they doing?
Hey, Masi Menos, how their parents taught them to date. So they're talking about love. Check that out on Thursday.
I might watch that.
Yeah, I might watch that. See y'all guys soon.